Derf Taff Peed.
Deep fat fried. 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 Deep fat fried.
Derf Taff Peed.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, no Scotty today. Okay, cool.
Oh, shit, man. What's going on?
Oh, shit. Scotty's here.
The fuck happened?
God damn.
I thought Scotty was right next to me that whole intro. I was rocking out.
God damn.
My eyes
fucking
closed.
Scotty.
Fucking drinks, dude.
Drinks?
Yeah, dude, that's some drinks.
You got drinks?
Well, Scotty's
What is
drunk.
he doing? Where's he going?
What do you mean what the fuck I'm doing? I said I have fucking drinks.
Get in the closet, Scotty.
All right, see you later.
Scotty's in the closet, dude.
Woo, I'm in the closet.
Scotty's in the closet. When will Scotty ever come out of the closet?
He is the last one of us that
Yeah.
claims to be a vanilla hetero.
Come out here and suck some dick, Scotty.
Come on, Scotty, you little Peter Puffer, you. Get out here.
I have drinks.
Oh, sick.
Cool. Give me a drink.
What do we want?
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Sprite, I guess.
Why
I
don't you
don't
just
know.
use your fucking brain and make a decision?
I didn't know you had Sprite and shit, dog.
Well, I don't fucking know, dude. We got
How the
all kinds
fuck
of
I'm
shit.
supposed to know what the fuck's going
How
on?
am I supposed to fucking know?
Scotty's back in the closet again.
Yeah, dude. He can't help
I'm
it.
trying to get you another Sprite. You got
Stuck in the
shade?
closet. He opened the door. He said, "What is it?"
I walked out
And
the
it
door.
was a midget. A midget. Man, R. Kelly, say what you want about him, because I know he probably raped a bunch of people, but damn, that motherfucker knows how to be weird. You have to at least respect R. Kelly for being weird,
Dude,
right?
I read a news story about R. Kelly recently. Like, he had, like, some show he was going to perform. It was $100 a ticket.
Yeah, he sang for 28
28
seconds.
seconds. And he was there for, like, 30 minutes taking pictures. And he's like, man, I need y'all support. I got the money. See ya.
I watched that Surviving R. Kelly miniseries that came out that started a bunch of criticism
Dude,
against him again.
You know you're a fucked up guy when there's a series about you called Surviving, whatever. Like, can you imagine surviving Paul's ego?
It really is pretty absurd. There's just an endless procession of women that claim that and they all have basically the same story. I was a fan of his. He reached out to me. I was really young, and he said he was going to help my career, and then it turned into sex, and then all of a sudden I'm living in his house, and I can't call anybody, and, you know, so he's, I don't know, innocent until proven guilty, you know,
Paul,
of course, but...
Ain't it just a case of the white man trying to keep the black man down? Is it not a case of that?
Well, he doesn't even really claim that. He claims, like, did you see his meltdown that he had, like, on that news interview where he started crying and screaming and shit?
Oh, yeah. For all the politically correct people here, Paul just denied systemic racism in America. So everyone know that. Just full stop.
Paul is a racist.
Paul,
We all know this.
I didn't
hate to
deny
bring
it.
it up. I hate to bring it up, Paul. I feel like I'm fucking, beating a dead horse here. But you know what, Paul? Just your racism comes out again.
I'm trying to
Over and
build
over.
my liberal credentials, Scotty, with that Shapiro thing.
Well,
You're tearing me down as a racist, and I'm not.
Unfortunately, Paul, you're
All
100%,
I said
you're
is that
100% white, Paul. So I can't. Let's just deplatform Paul.
R. Kelly
He's white.
himself has not
Good idea.
said he was what? What's
You're
happening?
deplatformed, dude.
Hold on.
I'm deplatformed?
You're deplatformed. Look, Paul, you're not a person of color. We have to deplatform what you just said. You made a racist statement. This show has to take a strong stance. Look, Paul, I meant you to take our cues from the mainstream media. Yeah, thank you, TJ. That's good. That's a good job, TJ. Paul is now officially deplatformed.
The fuck?
Fucking platformed.
Deplatformed.
Bitch.
Oh, look, we've seen these...
Hashtag Paul is over party. Boom, 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 boom. It's good.
We've
I
just seen-
replatformed myself, but I'll keep the do-rag look because I kind of like it.
Oh, you fucking trying to appropriate Muslim culture now? Jeez.
How do you know I'm not? How do you know I'm not of Arabic
We've seen your
descent?
DNA test, Paul.
That was a fake.
Fake DNA
I
test.
faked that, you dumb imbeciles. Just
lot
to
of
make
things-
so I could hide my true heritage.
Well, in that case, you're a fucking Muslim terrorist.
I didn't say I was Muslim.
Close the borders.
I said you're Arab.
My genetics are my personal.
That's your
fucking
business and yours
yeah.
alone, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Fair
Fair
enough.
up to you.
So now you claim, Paul, that test was
Plus,
fake.
a pair of Jews. How are you even gonna fucking come at me about
Damn
that?
stinking ass Jews.
Yeah, I've seen your genetic tests.
I don't recall that test.
Oy vey is all I have to say.
Oi,
I've-
motherfucking
look,
they.
Paul, maybe you could produce some evidence of that, but I don't recall anything you're talking about.
Well,
Maybe I wasn't there when you made these ridiculous claims about my ancestry, Paul.
Let's look at this picture of Paul as a kid, dude.
All right.
oh, you gotta. Oh,
Yeah, damn. What
Wow.
happened, Paul?
yeah. I don't know, man. I plumped up. Anybody recognize this strapping young lad here? It's not me. I was never that thin. Not at that age.
Oh, man.
Anybody? He looks
Oh,
kind of.
well, I was talking about one of the horses. I thought that was.
Yeah.
Fuck you, TJ. I'm not as big as a
Is
fucking
this,
horse.
what's that guy? James Spader, dude. It's young
Yeah,
James
that's
Spader.
what I thought. I thought it might be James Spader.
Now, this is our buddy Alex Jones.
Oh wow.
And, we let the fans pick out some episodes. We let the new fans pick out an episode. They picked Ben Shapiro. We did that as our last patrons-only show. Check that out. We got a preview up on the channel. You can see how Paul gets so salty
And they
about it.
also picked this
And they
gentleman
also,
here.
the $5 people picked Alex Jones.
Yeah, and when I went to pull for this, it kind of rushed back to me how many hours the three of us have spent looking at and talking about and ripping on Alex Jones. On DP when we were all there, I mean, he was a frequent antagonist of the show or protagonist, depending on how you looked at him.
These are various photos from out.
Yeah, I found a bunch of weird photos from his childhood and kind of
there he
early
is
20s.
with his family there.
That's him in the middle there. He looks a lot like I did in the 80s, the bowl cut and the high shorts and he looks like a child of the 80s or
Here he is.
late 70s.
Is that his mom there or?
I think that is his mom. Yeah, that's him with his mom, a little older there in his 20s.
Yeah, he looks like he's maybe 24, 25, something like that.
It's
maybe.
him playing, I don't know, what is that, racket? He's playing badminton or something on the beach?
I can't
or
tell
lawn
what the
darts?
fuck that is.
Is that like lawn darts or something?
Yeah, maybe that's a lawn. I can't really tell what that is.
Might be a lawn dart. Looks like he's at church there, worshiping Jesus. maybe.
Worshiping Jesus. There he is, just kind of sitting around on the lawn by
Yeah.
the street.
So
Here he
Alex,
is feeding some ducks, playing on the beach, hanging out in Washington. Looks like a pretty
Dude,
normal
there's
fucking
baby-
childhood.
Like, go back up, dude.
What's up?
Is that baby? That's baby Alex Jones?
Baby Alex
Yeah,
Jones,
with
yeah.
a kitty
Oh,
cat.
dude.
Multiple baby Alex Jones. And then if you go down, you get to see uber 80s Alex Jones, which
Is this the one you're talking about?
yeah. I mean, that is 80s as fuck right there.
Dude, he should bring that shirt back.
That's early 80s Alex Jones. And yeah, I mean, I can't front. He's a good looking kid. Would you look at him and think he's going to be a fucking
No,
froth
in
mouth
fact,
raving lunatic?
Yeah. I was actually looking at this yearbook photo you have of him,
Yeah.
and actually the kid next to him looks fucking crazier.
Oh yeah, the kid next to him looks like
He's also a
and maybe
Jones, too.
Maybe he is crazier. I mean, we
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, we don't know what this dude ended up being, but if you were to tell me that one of these two guys right here would be infamously crazy,
Guy on the right, dude.
I would have said the dude on the
I don't
right.
know. Alex does look a little. I mean, he's got a mullet going on for one thing. In
Dude,
this
I don't know
picture.
what the fuck's going on with his hair in that picture.
It's a weird wispy, but you can see
It's
kind of
almost a
peeking
mullet,
out around his
dude.
neck. It is a mullet. It's like a little tiny baby mullet. It's a proto mullet.
proto mullet.
So Jones Joshua is like the guy that went on to be like the abusive dad in Forrest Gump.
I mean,
That was-
maybe.
I don't know. He
Who
looks just
knows?
like him.
Dude, Scotty,
does, yeah.
Scotty was looking at this girl at the bottom, like she's one over from the girl with the glasses on the bottom there. The big glasses. He's like, chick looks like a slut.
She looks like a slut, dude.
Chick looks like a fucking
I'll tell you what.
slut,
And
dude.
the only girl on the
I'm
second
like, how
row.
does I don't get that at all.
Because you don't know him, TJ.
I don't know the sluts like Scotty
In the
does.
second row, that chick looks like she'd be a total bitch, dude. Like she.
Oh
look-
yeah, she probably looks like she was like the
but in
head
a-
cheerleader,
but
or
in a
something.
very nice way. Like you're
What's
a
her
piece
name?
of shit.
Jennifer Kelly, dude, we're doxing the shit out of these people.
I know, right?
Yeah, I bet Jennifer Kelly was like the head fucking cheerleader.
Oh god, and the
shit.
dude with the same last name as me looks kind of like
Dude, Wesley Keith looks like a fucking dork too.
he looks like a
Oh,
whiny
yeah, he
dork,
does.
dude. He looks like an emo whiny bitch. Like no one likes me.
I play Dungeons and Dragons.
He looks like he grew up to be like Paul Rudd or something.
I hate Paul Rudd, dude.
Yeah, I know. He just had his 50th birthday.
Dude, what about Michael Lacey though on the bottom right? Yeah, oof.
Oh, dude.
That's not a good look.
Michael Lacey looks like he went on to become a fucking serial killer.
Or a glam rock star, maybe.
Maybe.
He kind of looks awkward in the same way that like Manson does in his, you know.
Yeah.
maybe.
I want to know what all these people
Yeah.
went on to do.
But we're here tonight to talk about one of the people in this
Yep.
photo. The top left
left corner.
That's Mr. Alex Jones. He was born on February 11th, 1974 in Dallas, Texas, to David. And why don't you wind it back to some of his childhood photos,
Sure.
CJ? Yeah, to David and Jennifer. His dad's a dentist and his mom's a homemaker. Very wholesome type of lifestyle that's not really all that attainable anymore. The stay-at-home mom is becoming less and less prevalent. He spent his early life in Rockwall, a suburb of Dallas, Texas, and he later moved on to kind of famously live in Austin, Texas, where he resides to this day. And he graduated in 1993. While in high school, he was part of the school football team. So he's a Chad, right?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, if you're on the football team and then bump it forward and find that workout video or that one where he's flexing. Yeah, look at him. I mean, I don't know. It looks like he might be in his early 20s here, but
he's not a teenager there.
Do you
I don't
lift,
think.
bro?
But dude was fit. He's kind of he was a Chad.
He kind of
was
looks
a total
like Dolph
fucking Chad.
Lundgren there a little bit.
And if you need proof that he was a Chad, let me ask you a question, Scotty.
All right, man.
You're 16 years old. How many broads had you banged by 16, Scotty?
At least 100, dude.
Bullshit, Scotty. I'm going with 0. How about you, TJ? How many broads had you bagged
At the age of 16,
Yeah.
0.0.
Well, I had also bagged 0 chicks at the age of 16.
But Alex,
proving
not the
that
same,
we are
right?
all beta males.
Why at 100?
I'm going to read a quote, and I wish I could find the video for this, but Alex's videos are becoming increasingly hard to find. But here's the direct quote.
Cool.
When I was 16, I didn't want to party anymore. I don't want to play games anymore. I grew up. Already been in the fights, all the big rituals. Already had probably, I hate to brag, but I'm not bragging. It's actually shameful. Probably 150 women or more. That's conservative. I'd already had 150 women. Already dating college girls by the time I was 15 years old. I was already a man at 16.
So at 16, just a scant few years before this picture was snapped, this dude had already bagged 150 women in the small suburb Rockwall.
Basically, he fucked every pussy in Rockwall.
So if you bring that fucking picture back up, TJ, every broad on that page, just by the law of averages,
yeah.
he had to have fucked them.
Had her.
He fucked Kayleen Jones.
Yep.
He
Fucked 'em
fucked
all.
Lee Jones.
Fucked her.
He fucked Jennifer Kelly multiple times.
Fucked her in the ass.
He fucked Danielle Krzyzewski.
Let her blow me.
He fucked Jody Coopers.
She was a freak.
He fucked Kamara Cooch.
Yeah.
Of course. She's got Cooch right in her name. Yeah, of course he fucked her.
Oh, yeah, I fucked that cooch right in her cooch.
Yeah, dude. So Alex Jones, every girl you see on this page, he has fucked. Every woman in town, all their mothers he fucked. This is
not?
Rockwall.
It's Alex
This is a small
Jones.
town, dude. This guy, he was fucking everybody.
Well, dude, look what Alex Jones has achieved in his career, TJ. I mean, do you really doubt the veracity of the story? 150 women, like, dude.
I don't doubt a single word
personally
that
only
comes
got
out of that
100.
man's mouth.
I personally got 100, dude. Alex Jones, 150. I mean,
150.
Even
And he said that's conservative.
that's conservative. So Alex Jones, let's
That's
be
a
even-
guess. That
So
he
probably
feels,
200.
Right.
Alex Jones probably.
Maybe even upwards
Wow,
of 200.
dude, he doubled.
What's
the man.
above an alpha male again? Because that's what Alex Jones is.
The Uber Chad.
Yes, that's what he was. He was, in fact, fuck Chad. Alex is the real Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no one, dude, no wonder.
Chad fucking sucks Alex Jones's
Well, dude,
dick.
look at the gene pool. I mean, like, look, Joshua Jones. That guy's obviously fucking nuts. But
Yeah,
look,
Jones.
he was probably crazy. He was in high school. He wants to get laid, but Alex Jones is getting all the women.
Yeah, it's true.
He fucked them all. He fucked them all.
And it's appropriate you've got this up on the screen, TJ, because it was in high school that Alex Jones discovered a corrupt blue velvet underbelly in his town, TJ.
Damn.
That's right. At weekend parties, he watched as off-duty cops dealt pot, ecstasy, and cocaine to his friends. You believe that shit?
Yeah.
A truck would appear, sometimes with a guy with a uniform inside, Jones recalls. Then, on Monday, they'd have Dare, and drug tests for us football guys. So he started to see that,
The system is corrupt.
yeah, that law enforcement is a pretty much hand in glove, and that there's a lot of people that'll take advantage of that position of power. So he went on to elaborate and says, I was like, you want to drug test me? Well, I know you're selling the stuff. I called them the mafia to their face. At the time, I didn't know anything about CIA drug dealing. So all of this came to a head during Jones's sophomore year when he was pulled over while driving without a license, a 6-pack of beer under the passenger seat. Jones told the cop that he was corrupt and had no right to enforce the laws. They brought me to jail, Jones said. Afterward, one of the cops told me to wise up or they'd frame me and send me away. The following week, his father was so spooked that he sold his dental practice, and moved the whole family to Austin. A few months later, Rockwall County Sheriff...
Whatever, dude.
A few months later, Rockwall County Sheriff was indicted on organized crime charges. Now,
Okay.
of course, this is the mythology of
Yeah.
Alex Jones as he tells it.
Right. So there was a big corruption scandal in one of the towns near us with police. If I wanted to, I could easily go back and be like, yeah, I was actually instrumental in making that happen.
Now, I listened to a podcast where a guy that kind of credibly grew up with Alex Jones and was a friend of his disputes this whole story, says it's basically complete fiction. His dad decided to move to Austin for business reasons, and that was that. I mean,
Shocking.
But, you got to keep in mind, too, this is a time when it's pretty, it's a pretty popular thing to be against Alex Jones right now. So
Sure.
Him being a famous dude who's, kind of on everybody's mind right now, these types of people often will crawl.
Let's just be honest,
hey,
though.
you remember that guy that went to school with you, TJ?
Right.
That showed up on our old show.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. I mean, Alex Jones has virtually no credibility as a truth teller
No.
compared to any random person off the street at this point.
No, absolutely not.
Because he's spun so many fucking yarns. I mean, we're gonna see. Everyone knows. Motherfucker talks about the world being run by vampires and fucking
It is.
people bathing in rivers of shit.
That's what
and
the
fucking-
globalist elitists want you to believe, TJ.
I'm sure.
So
That's what they want you to believe. You've been fucking brainwashed.
once he got to Austin, he quit pot, which is a weird thing to do when you move to Austin. He also quit football, and he started consuming historical novels. He particularly liked just straight history. He liked, let's see, some of the titles he liked. He liked Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, Shire's Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. He started just trying to understand all these kind of political movements, and that he says he started understanding that governments have been staging terror and dealing drugs throughout history. He said the whole program was there.
Man, he makes governments sound way cooler than they actually are.
Well, the book that I think colored his world, and he talks about this book. He doesn't necessarily say it's the book that started it all for him, but I think this book right here that is up on the screen, which is called None Dare Call It a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, it is kind of a seminal conspiracy theorist handbook. It is a very early 70s example of a guy basically... He's basically saying what Alex Jones says now, which is why I think he cribbed most of his act, or if it is indeed an act, from this book. I didn't read the whole book, but this book is available online and very easily found in really easy-to-read format. I didn't read the whole book, but I read a good chunk of this book as prep for this episode, and it reads like a laundry list of Alex Jones statements. It implies that...
Yeah, if you have a Kindle membership, you can actually get it for free on your Kindle as well.
and even if you don't, it is online and
Easy to get.
Very, very, very simple to find.
And hardcover's only $23 too, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad for a hardcover.
If
honestly.
you want, if you want a new, I think they've updated it in this newer edition too.
It is a pretty dense book. It's filled with a lot of stats and figures, which a lot of people like that. But the overarching premise of it is that the world governments, as we know them, are all one government run by a super powerful, shadowy elite group who all have a one world order plan to exploit humanity and keep it under its thumb economically and socially. So it's basically Alex Jones's spiel in a nutshell.
So the interesting thing about what you just told me about that is that, like, isn't that kind of what you want, Paul?
Well, I kind of want the other end of it.
I mean, yeah, but you want the one world government. You are a true globalist. Like, you believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
maybe not like
I don't want
in this vein.
I don't want it to happen overnight. I don't want to just snap our fingers because I think it would.
What do you mean? It happened years ago, Paul.
It would be a corrupt, horrible fucking thing. But I'm just saying, I do advocate. I do think we would be better off as a species having one overarching government with regional differences. You know, I'm fine with that.
Evil.
But Alex Jones is definitely where I'm kind of like the proton to his electron. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He is very, like, we'll watch a clip later where he rails against AI and talks about how it's science trying to be wizards to predict the future, and that's against God. And I'm an open advocate for AI. So he's, but yeah, this is definitely a book that you want to check out if you want to have a deeper understanding of kind of the paranoid, conspiracy-laden psyche of Alex Jones, because I believe he cribbed a lot of it right from this book. And it's an interesting read, if a little dense. So, yeah, in 1971, Alan wrote this book. It sold a bunch. It sold more than 4 million copies during the 1972 presidential campaign opposing Nixon and McGovern. So it was kind of not even really considered to be a conspiracy novel at that time. It was kind of an anti-political novel.
Yep.
At a time when, you know, there was a whole lot of hotly contested politics going on.
Unlike now.
Right. Unlike now when it's just calm.
Yeah, the utopia we live in.
In the book, Alan and Abraham assert that the modern political and economic systems in the most developed nations are the result of a sweeping conspiracy by the establishment's power elite, for which he also uses the term insiders. So here is the agenda according to the authors of this book, okay?
All right.
Here's what the socialist communist agenda is.
All right.
Number 1, establish an income tax system as a means of extorting money from the common man.
Check.
Number 2, establish a central bank deceptively named so that people will think it part of the government.
Check.
Have this bank be the holder of the national debt.
Check.
Run the national debt and the interest thereon sky high through wars, starting with World War I.
Check.
Okay.
So basically, he took what's actually already going on,
Right.
even in the 70s, and
and
said
made it
this is
into
all
that-
part of their secret
Right,
agenda.
and put a voice to it, basically.
Right.
Yeah, he formed a narrative out of that. What's actually happened?
Okay.
And there are a list of families. There's a long list of families that he implicates in this
Right.
book.
The Rothschild.
I'm going to give you a
yeah.
few here. Rothschilds, Schiff, Milner Foundations, the Warburgs, who you hear a lot in conspiracy theories, the Vanderlip Roundtable, the Rockefellers, Baruch, Carnegie, Morgan, the Executive Department of the United States, CFR, Kuhn Loeb, Lazard Ferrers, and the New York Times.
Kuhn Loeb sounds like something to order off a Chinese menu.
It really does.
Yeah, I'll take the Mugugai Pan and the Kuhn Loeb.
And one of the most famous quotations from this book that you will hear elsewhere, often not attributed to the book, is this. If we were merely dealing with the law of averages, half of the events affecting our nation's well-being should be good for America. If we were dealing with mere incompetence, our leaders should occasionally make a mistake in our favor. We are not dealing with coincidence or stupidity, but with planning and brilliance.
Oh, shit.
So, you know, he's taken the tact that, you know, we can't call it stupidity, and we can't call it just the law of averages falling in our favor, so it must be a plan.
If you believe that through incompetence, the leaders should occasionally make a mistake in your favor, then shouldn't you believe that about every loser on the face of the earth?
Yeah.
Like every fucking druggie with a fucking needle in his arms and the fucking, alleyway covered in trash and his own shit in his britches. Shouldn't he have made a mistake in his own favor at some point,
It's a false premise to begin with. It's saying that 50-50, there's going to be good and bad events, but that's all subjective. What do you? I mean,
Right.
whether or not you consider an event to be good or bad is entirely subjective.
Right.
So
it's
bullshit.
I've heard this quote actually in conspiracy circles a lot. It's passed around. It's a very famous quote from the book, and it's a very famous mindset, and it's very much Alex Jones's mindset.
Well, it just mirrors the cultural state of America at the time. I mean, that's all it really is, because that's why this book would have, if you wrote it, today, would have totally evolved. You'd probably see a bigger emphasis placed on technology and AI in the future, like Alex Jones places. So it's just. it's indicative of what the mindset of the Gary
Well, yeah, they're
Allen-
always updating the fucking narrative.
So
Well, you need to.
In his very early 20s, before we move on to kind of our next section, I got some video of Alex Jones's very early career, which started as kind of the host of a weird public access TV / radio
Is this the
show.
Halloween one?
Yeah, this is a Halloween show, and you can see that like there's a lot of people that contend that Alex Jones turned on the crazy over the years. I think that this clip proves that he was always off.
Okay.
Just came on cable access and hung out, or what your actual employment was?
I come on public access and hang out. I'm on 24 hours a day, they say.
Yeah, pretty close.
Well, I can assure you I don't make any money off public access. I can guarantee you that.
Well, you guys have a good one.
Hey, appreciate that call. Hello, caller. You on the air?
Yes, Alex, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I was just kind of curious.
He's just carving a
Just
fucking...
stabbing
pretty
away
good.
at that company.
Pretty good.
He's got like a severed head and a basket behind him. Chauncey's there, which is crazy. Another fucking Chauncey cameo out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
what are you doing there, Chauncey? That's like a proto Chauncey.
Yeah.
It's facing the wrong way. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, so he was obviously off his rocker from the get-go, but you can listen to a little more of this. It's interesting to
Yeah,
hear him
and
talk.
not only that, I just love. I love how he's like, I don't make any money off being on public access. I'll tell you that. I'm just thinking about all the money he makes now.
Yeah, of course.
but probably less now than probably in the past because he's been so deplatformed across the spectrum. But I know that InfoWars still makes a shit ton of money selling its supplements and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, of course. We'll talk about that, of course. We'll
yeah.
we'll have a chance to take a look at InfoWars and kind of comb through some of his products, some of which are absurd.
Anyway, this is 97.
If
So,
it's
yeah, this is
true
97.
That, the police can have laser or infrared beams, if you want to call it, and they can project those into your house to basically.
Yeah, the Austin Police Department's, last time I heard, has 20 units with infrared. If you have enough of a heat source in your house, it'll pick up the heat source and show a signature. It's called flare. It's infrared or heat signature, and we didn't play all of the cut from the Lear News Hour, but it says yes, black helicopters are being used for surveillance of the public by sheriff's departments and police departments around the country. So that's real, and I'm going to play that tomorrow night from 8:30 on past 10 on my Access Television show. That's actually my show proper, just isn't a entertainment show. And I'm going to have a tax expert on. So you'll see the Lair News Hour, a short little cut for news reasons, that'll show you Lair News Hour saying, yeah, here's the black helicopters. The military has sold them to the police departments all over the country. They've got thousands of them. They've got thousands of tanks and armored personnel carriers now. And they don't say, by the way, all these people that have been kooks for 10 years telling you about it, now they're admitting they have black helicopters. It's a fact.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
this type of talk, this kind of anti-authoritarian talk, really resonated well, not shockingly, with Texans. And he found a cult following pretty quick in Austin as a local radio nut job, and he had his defenders and his detractors. Austin being a more liberal area, found a lot of problems with him. But, he just kind of started this process of conflict. And really looking at Alex Jones's career, I mean, we could sit and talk about all the little things he did and all the fucking radio stations he was on and all this stuff. But really, Alex Jones's career, to me, is defined by opposition. People or entities, real and imagined, that he has put himself in opposition to, and that is how he has risen from a local kind of public access Austin anti-government nut to a dude in the national consciousness. And so I thought we'd spend our time tonight taking a look at the enemies of Alex Jones.
The various enemies.
And there are many.
And there are many, and we're not going to be able to cover them all tonight. So if your favorite doesn't get in, hey, maybe a part 2 of this is in order. Some of you might recognize right away what you're looking at, and some of you may not. But this is the statue that is at the central area of a place in the woods, in the redwoods in California, called Bohemian Grove. Does that ring a bell to you guys?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God. What they're doing up at the Grove. You won't believe it.
So this I got to be honest, and maybe you guys will disagree with me. We've all spent a lot of time talking and listening to Alex Jones, but I really think this is what broke him.
The Bohemian Grove
The
stuff?
Bohemian Grove shit was the first time I became aware of Alex Jones as, a Californian. Maybe not the first time, but it's really the time I remember him being kind of in the national conversation, because this was a big deal. This was a big news story, kind of a weird what the fuck kind of news story, but a big one nonetheless. And it really kind of lent him credibility with the conspiracy crowd. It's hard to encapsulate all the stuff he shot. I did pull some, so we can watch a little bit of the video that he shot. But basically, he was able to infiltrate this place called Bohemian Grove that is long. And I'll read, before we watch that video, let me read a little bit about the Bohemian Club. So the Bohemian Club is an elite, invitation-only social club founded in San Francisco in 1872 by a group of male artists, writers, actors, lawyers, and journalists, all of means and interested in arts and culture. Since its founding, the club has expanded to include politicians and affluent businessmen. The club is known especially for its annual summer retreat at what is known as Bohemian Grove in the Redwood Forest of California's Sonoma County, an event that continued into the 21st century. Notable members over the years, Henry Kissinger, one of the global elite, of course, Walter Cronkite, Richard Nixon, Reagan, Charles Schwab, Ambrose Bierce, Bret Hart, not that Bret Hart.
Yeah, not the wrestler.
Mark Twain, Jack London, all big names.
Cool.
It has long been a target for conspiracy theorists, and Jones was one of the most rabid.
People are scared of your secret club, especially if there's powerful people in it. Like, what are they doing there? Like, as if powerful people couldn't conglomerate with each other and just, do
absurd,
shit
dude.
without a club.
Dude, I was friends with a kid when we lived in Washington that his grandfather went to the Bohemian Grove because they're like, yeah, they have a big retreat in San Francisco, and I realized years later that's what he was talking about.
You can go to this place when they're not there.
Well, yeah, sure.
This is accessible to the public for most of the year.
But Scotty's saying that his friend was actually...
he was actually at...
His grandfather was actually in the fucking Bohemian Club.
He was actually in the Bohemian... Because, I remember, because I didn't think about it until years later when I heard about all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's the only thing they ever told me about, I never met his grandfather, was, his grandfather was loaded. And then, his dad actually went with him to the thing, oh, yeah, they're going to go to this big thing in San Francisco.
That seems to be the main criteria for getting into the club. Why don't we take a look at a little bit of Alex Jones exposing this club and a little bit of what goes on inside.
In the fall of 2004, while in New York to cover the Republican National Convention, we ran into David Bergen,
here we go.
Karl Rove of 4 presidential administrations.
Okay, one last question. I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean?
Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, I didn't run around naked like they do.
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the Cremation of Care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex
That's
Jones,
definitely
and I
going to
snuck
stamp
in there
down
in
the
2000.
conspiracy.
I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
There's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials
I'm sorry. You took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are. And I'm sorry you violated
Of course he snuck in. Of course he did.
That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about...
That's not a gentlemanly thing to do, John.
A lot of public officials are there. The public has a right to know what's going on.
You could tell this was at a time when these types of high-level officials didn't know how to deal with Alex Jones and his ilk.
It's like,
yet.
oh, well,
He
that's
just
very
like
disrespectful.
lit the fire of conspiracy under this whole fucking thing. I don't want to talk about that. You know,
Yeah,
like,
instead of being like, it is a social club in which people just hang out.
It's a barbecue.
Yeah.
I ate barbecued hot dogs and I hang out with people.
Like, you're ridiculous next.
You're stupid.
You know, whatever.
You're a but no, he just like lights the fire underneath it.
They
and
burned an
I love-
effigy of Care, though.
I love how this one ends. He actually gets a little madder here in a second.
The ritual. Is the ritual genuinely?
The evil cult.
Oh man, I'm scared.
That was
scared,
frightening.
guys. I'm fucking. What was that, guys? I'm terrified now.
Sir, everything. I don't.
That's all, folks.
Oh, dude, Alex Jones has a fucking massive boner right now. It's like,
Oh, I love how this clip ends
I
because
don't
he's
owe
so
you
happy.
this comment. This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you,
ever
and
been
goodbye.
in the ritual?
It's none of your damn business.
Oh,
It's none of your damn business.
Listen.
Listen to me, you little
Oh,
little
damn,
Go
bastard.
around and make understandings with people and violate them. You ambush people on the streets, and that's inappropriate form of journalism. If you wish to practice that, that's fine, but don't ask others to respect you for it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I don't think he ever did.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't think
remember
he
Alex
wants
Jones
your.
being like, I demand your respect.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't want your respect.
yeah, he just wants your money.
You can do.
Come
You're a
on.
free American, like anything you want.
He
If you
wants
want
your
to be
attention.
uncivil and rude and ungentlemanly, that's up to you. But don't expect the rest
you
of
guys
us
are
to
setting
say, "Oh well,
policy
you're
in there,
one."
Mr. Gergen.
I'm sorry, nobody sets policy in there. We try to be gentlemen, and obviously, you don't belong there.
Weaving spiders come out here? Yeah, that is a three-pointer. Woo!
He's like,
Of course, he just knew, that he had fucking massive gold on his hands with this, because that's just, it's a gentlemen being gentlemen in there.
Why are you trying to make it into something that ain't?
no conspiracy here.
You're not a gentleman.
What goes on there? Well,
gentleman stuff, and you're not a gentleman. I disrespect you.
I disrespect you, sir.
I mean, this guy just like served him up a hot meal on a platter.
Oh, I know. Alex
So
Jones
this-
is so happy.
If you want, you can find his full documentary. I think it's called Bohemian Grove Exposed or something like that. And he goes into the town and he interviews people, and he finds people that won't talk to him, and then he sneaks in and gets this horrible. You saw a little clip of it there, and I think there might be more in this clip, or I might have pulled another clip
Why
that
is
shows
he
us a
acting
little
so
more.
This is one of the
Maybe the next
They
one.
revel in it.
Yeah, this is the only one I see that has Bohemian Grove in it.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, I think I just forwent pulling it because you guys, like I said, you got a little flash of it there. Them at this ceremony they call it cremation, and it is kind of creepy, honestly.
It's here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it really? 'Cause,
It's
I mean,
well.
like,
Here's
isn't
the.
it really any different than like Burning Man or any of this other
I
shit?
think it's
that people do?
misunderstood. I've actually read the whole script for the Cremation of Care as it existed when Alex went and crashed it and got these photos and video of it.
Right.
And it basically, I think it's widely misunderstood. It's got some kind of ominous stuff, like the burning of an effigy of a man, the statue behind it being kind of a god overseeing it. But really, it's
Well,
about...
if they were burning an actual person or something, then
Right.
I'd be like, wow, this is nefarious shit.
Right, they're
But-
burning an effigy, and it's not even supposed to be a person. The person that they're burning is supposed to be an effigy of dull care, is what they call him. And the Bohemian Grove is supposed to be a place where you don't have to worry anymore. And so it's like they're burning the world's cares and the world, all the anxieties
So
you have.
a bunch of stressed out, high power influence
Yes.
people are like, we're just burning all this. It's basically like the stress.
Yes,
that
it's
they're
what it
under
is.
and shit.
It's what it is. It's like you. It's like the whole ceremony is based around you are free to be worry free here for a while. This is a place where dull care comes to die, and we burn him here every year so that we can all chill and kick our feet up. Now that's of course the narrative that I got from the script.
Right.
But I do think it's widely misunderstood because it's presented in a very like the only way I could describe it is like early Disney kind of way. It's got this like booming narrator that's like, "Come, dull care to the pyre." It's like very. ostentatious in its presentation, and so I think it seems way more nefarious than it is if you actually read the script.
No, dude, this is actually a necessary ceremony for international aliens to contact the planet, Paul.
It very well could be.
If they do not burn the fucking effigy of Dolcare, which is actually a god of their world, Paul.
I mean, it is growing.
Then the portal between the two worlds can't be open.
Here's some stuff that you might not like. Over the course of more than a century, the Bohemian Club has continued to grow in membership to approximately 2,500 individuals as of now, including several former U.S. presidents, high-ranking politicians, military officials. The list goes on. So, I mean, hey.
What are they doing there, Paul?
I don't know.
What are they in there doing? That's what I want to know.
If they want to end all the speculation, they're
making policy in there. That's what they're doing.
All they have to do.
What the hell are they building in there?
Is let people know what's going on. That's all they have to do, Paul. And look, they refuse. They're growing. Powerful people. We shouldn't be concerned.
The world has a right to know what they're building in there.
So the next one's the Bilderbergs, right?
Yep. So the next big antagonist of Alex Jones is the Bilderbergs. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So this is Alex Jones out in front of a Bilderberg meeting. He is let's Alex speak for himself.
Well, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what the Bilderberg
Sure, let's
group
do
is
that
first.
before we move on. So since it's this is from the Bilderberg website.
All right, so this is the official story.
This is the official line.
This is the head of the serpent.
Since its inaugural meeting in 1954, Bilderberg has been an annual forum for informal discussions designed to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Every year, between 120 and 150 political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia, and media are invited to take part in the meeting. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. 1/3 from politics and government, and the rest from other fields. The meeting is a forum for informal discussions about megatrends and major issues facing the world. The meetings are held under the Chatham House rule, which states that participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers nor any other participant may be revealed. So you're allowed to come out and talk about what you talked about. You're allowed to come out and talk about ideas that were passed around, but you're not allowed to attribute anything to
You're
anybody.
not allowed to say, like, Bill Gates said this.
Exactly.
You got to be like, this was discussed or whatever. So if you're a member of the Bilderberg, according to this official release,
right,
they're saying you can come out and say what was discussed, but you can't say who said what.
Said it.
Look, TJ, they want to spy on you. They want to listen
or
to your
even
phone.
who was there.
TJ, right now the government is listening to you. Right now, TJ, do you know that? You pick up a cell phone and you don't think the government has that, but then these globalist elites meet. We don't get anything. Oh, their ideas, TJ. The ideas they're going to share with the public, maybe.
Yep. Well, they should be open to the public. God damn it.
All right, let's see what they're saying.
Let me finish this just real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
As such, thanks to the private nature of the meeting, the participants are not bound by the conventions of their office or pre-agreed positions. As such, they can take the time to listen, reflect, and gather insights. There's no detailed agenda, no resolutions are proposed, no votes are taken, and no policy statements are issued.
That's what they'd like you to believe,
Right.
but Alex is going to tell you the truth.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. The truth bringer is here.
The people of the planet are free. Humans, since the beginning of civilization, have struggled against tyranny. We are here with...
Wow, he's like the modern day fucking Thomas Jefferson
He really
or some
is,
shit,
man.
dude, isn't he?
He really is.
They'll take our lives.
a new Declaration of
That's
Independence.
William Wallace.
A declaration
Well, a fictionalized
of free
one.
people on the planet Earth, resisting your tyranny. We do not want your American Union. We do not want your European Union. We wish to live in peace and be free, just as you wish to have your secret meetings and be left alone. We are here at great danger and great expense, and with great courage, to stand up against your enormous power. We know you are ruthless. We know you are evil. We respect your dark power.
Oh,
We know you are ruthless. We know you are evil. We respect your dark power. I want to do an Alex Jones musical. Who's with me?
respect your dark power.
We respect your dark power. We understand
Well,
you're
that's awful nice of
sacrificing
them.
virgins in there.
He's standing like basically across the street from this hotel.
Yeah, I'm sure they can hear him.
Where they're inside in a conference room sealed off, so nobody's listening.
And not only that, the idea that he's in any danger doing this.
No, yeah, great danger. Great
He's
expense.
in danger of being asked to leave. That's about it.
I think this is probably the closest they let him get.
Yeah. Bullhorning him.
But you should know that as you attempt to set up your world government, you're facing greater and greater problems. Your agenda is faltering. Free humans everywhere know what you're doing. The people have woken up to what you're doing. You're attempting to shut down the internet and the free press. You are failing. The cat is out of the bag. The truth
this is weird because now he's in favor of shutting down the free press.
Hey, you know what? Why don't they show how close he is to the building, though? It seems
Your
like
world
awfully
government
focused
has
on him.
now
Yeah,
been
show us.
exposed.
There we go.
We will expose the new
That's the
world
building.
order.
Oh, yeah.
The people in there can't even hear him.
Like there's something the Monopoly guys in there like, what is this?
The
Sticks
actual
his head out the
Bilderberg
window.
meeting, it's in that building, and it's in an interior conference area.
They ain't hearing this.
They ain't being exposed to none of this shit. They load up their cars from the underground garage of this place. There's this video goes on and on. He yells at them. He yells at like drivers as they bring cars around for people. He does actually manage to see a couple of people, but we aren't going to spend all night watching this. So the Bilderbergs, what do you guys think? Where do you stand on the Bilderbergs? You think there's some
I don't
shadowy,
know.
nefarious shit going on behind the scenes over there?
I'm sure some shit gets discussed that the general public might have an interest in, but I mean, do I think they're in there like plot? I mean, like if there's this big conspiracy, like the thing I don't understand is like if there's this big conspiracy of all the world leaders.
Why would anyone know?
They don't need to fucking go have a meeting at Bilderberg. They don't need to go have weird rich people summer camp in the Bohemian Grove. They can just communicate with each other easily, the same way anyone else
Pick
fucking
up a
does.
fucking phone, Skype them. It doesn't fucking matter. There's ways to communicate with people. Like you said, even if all the billionaires and all the elite want to have a big meeting, why would they even make it public? They're just going to meet, and there you go. Like, so this is like to believe that this an event like this is actually where like all this shit's being discussed and set up. Like, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would?
I mean, like if we're trying to run we're trying to run a fucking podcast with 3 dudes on it. We have meetings all the time.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to believe that the business of how we're gonna rule the world is only like once. You know, we meet twice a year. We go, once we meet at Bilderberg Group, and then we meet again at Bohemian Grove.
When the governors of these places come, TJ, they get their marching orders from the interdimensional vampiric aliens.
Yeah, this is where
we get naked at the Bohemian Grove and sacrifice some babies, and then
Satan shows up and he tells us what to do.
Yes,
gives us
I'm
our marching
Satan.
orders, and then we like discuss how we're going to carry out those marching orders at the Bilderberg.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I really kind of like the idea too behind the Bilderberg for if I was a powerful person, I would want a place where other people could come and speak freely, and you were free to kind of like say what you actually feel about things and not worry about it being a big political hoo-ha.
I mean, because look, a lot of these guys, with their power comes a tremendous,
everything they
microscope,
say,
right?
Everything they say goes national.
There's things that Bill Gates or whoever wants to say that he just can't go making public statements about.
And politicians are especially bound by that.
Because they can't be honest.
And so I don't necessarily hate the idea of this. I think it's something that's probably useful for people.
I'm sure it's useful. It's just like with anything. Like, look, you can take any event and like, let's follow Paul around. Where is he going? What is he doing? And you could create a narrative of whatever you want. Your life can be just a neckbeard, just living your normal life, or it's like you're a terrorist. It doesn't matter. You can. All you have to do is just show, like, look, this is a big, powerful organization with powerful people, and we don't know what's going on. So there's a big vacuum there of, like, what is being discussed. And could it be nefarious, evil shit? Of course.
Maybe.
But is it likely? Probably not. Because if they want to do that, they would simply just fucking have those meetings in secret or surreptitiously.
You guys put on your vamping shoes. We need some legal tobacco. I'm going to go grab some.
Vamping shoes.
Hey, TJ, how's it been lately?
How you been doing?
What you been up to, TJ?
I can't believe that these fucking fans made us do a goddamn Alex Jones episode. I mean, like, Paul's right.
I, for one, love the fans.
We've literally... I mean, I'm not saying anything against them. I
you
understand, but...
Yeah, dude, whatever, TJ. What do you think about the fans, really? Just fucking drop your kayfabe.
Drop the kayfabe?
Tell people how much you fucking hate
I
them,
think
dude.
that our fans are the most incredible people on the face of the earth. No, I mean, like...
That's always the funniest thing about people. Like see people talk about, like, fan bases of shows and shit. And obviously, we're just a little fucking bullshit. We're a fucking tiny little podcast, but like,
we're just an itty bitty little tiny podcast.
But when you talk about like these fucking big shows like Game of Thrones, have you ever been to like a Comic-Con?
No.
Dude, I want you
to
to
for a fact I haven't been to a Comic-Con.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you fucking been to one and I just wasn't with you.
Secret.
Well, not even secret. Just like you have a different life than I do.
I went in secret.
So I went to the one
I
went to the one in Columbus, and like, dude, the line for people to meet fucking Daryl from The Walking Dead was insane. People were like, yeah, we're gonna wait like 4 hours. I'm like, man, I like The Walking Dead, especially at the time, but I don't give a fuck about meeting that dude, especially waiting 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, he's pretty much gonna be the star of the show now. I hear because everyone else has left.
Daryl.
Yeah, so now it's gonna be like the Daryl show.
Oh my god.
He's like pretty much the only original cast member that hasn't left yet.
Can The Walking Dead just end, please?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm fine with that. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, it's like well past expiration.
It's been The Walking Dead literally for a while.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like 2 or 3 seasons ago. I'm just like, I'm tuning out of this. This is no good anymore.
Paul tapped out super early. He's like, meh.
Well, I think Paul just saw the writing on the wall. I think he saw the first really good season because the first season's pretty damn good. But
first couple of seasons were okay, but that third season, I just was like, eh.
Yeah, it's
bloogity blue.
All right, so we covered the Bilderbergs. We covered the Bohemian Grove. We know where the elites are having their secret meetings. So let's take on the elites directly. And let's talk about 9/11 and the broader New World Order conspiracy, which may be Alex's greatest foe. I don't know. We'll have to get through all the foes to find out. But 9/11 and the globalists, the New World Order.
So I have a couple of 9/11 ones. I have This is why InfoWars is banned. Alex Jones predicts 9/11, or I have 9/11 inside job. Alex Jones.
I mean,
we can watch.
I have to hear the prediction one because that's fucking crazy. So,
okay.
Alex Jones.
Again, I was on television saying that bin Laden's a CIA asset and looks like he'll attack New York. Saying, call Washington.
Wow.
Tell them to call off the attack.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad that you could join us today for this Wednesday, July 25th, 2001 broadcast. Tyranny is enveloping the globe, and the United States is a shining jewel the globalists want to bring down, and they will use terrorism as the pretext to get it done. So that's coming up in the second half of the show. Very important information. I'm going to put the call out that you call the White House.
Wow.
And tell them,
they
look,
will
we've
use
seen the news
terrorism to
stories
take
that
our
you
country down.
wanted to blow things up, that you have blown things up, and that you're saying that 4 million of us are going to die and we need martial law and the Associated Press at one of your little drills you had, and that we're aware of who the terrorists are if you pull this. This can stop this Hitlerian Reichstag event. I want to put the toll-free number up for Congress. And I won't want you to believe Alex Jones. I want you to go get these news stories off my website. I want you to call these major newspapers. I want you to find out these statements were true by the White House about preparing for martial law. And I want you to let them know that if there is any terrorism, we know who to blame. The point is...
So, I mean, he does go on, but that's the principal stuff. He of course, mythologizes this as him being, here it is.
It's
just
prescience,
a scant few months before the actual attack, saying it's going to happen. The United States going to false flag and use that as a pretext for war. And, I mean... I don't know if the false flag thing happened, but the attack happened, and it was used as a pretext for war. So, of course, this lent...
I mean, he was talking about 4 million people fucking dead.
Sure.
He was talking about, like,
martial law and all
crazy,
of that.
like, civilization is on the brink
so,
of
like,
collapse.
The, 9/11 attacks, as bad as they were, there was nowhere near 4 million casualties.
No.
Martial law was not declared afterwards.
But there might
were
be
some
there might be
draconian
at this
government
point
measures.
There might be at this point 4 million global casualties as a result of the wars that have been prosecuted.
Ah, okay, yeah, I guess you could take
You
that.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, TJ?
Yeah, if you stretch the narrative about as far as it can fucking go.
This was a huge thing for Alex, obviously. 9/11, it was an inside job. It was one of the drum beats of his show. And I found a video where he actually lays out the whole conspiracy very succinctly.
Cool.
How 9/11 went down. It starts with an interview of somebody in New York, but it very quickly goes on to him.
So we're finally going to find out the truth of what happened on 9/11.
All right, everyone's ready.
Yeah.
Because believe me, this establishment could care less about you. The EPA found all the asbestos. The EPA, guys, said that there was asbestos and people were getting sick and there was going to be $90 million for the police and firefighters for medical treatment. And Bush
One
came
thing,
in
though,
and had
about what
that-
Alex Jones is saying is totally based in truth, is that a bunch of people that did the fucking cleanup and the fucking...
And they got fucked, too.
Yeah, and they got fucked. So if Alex Jones, I have to say he is right about this.
He's right about a lot when it comes to 9/11, but once you get to his actual narrative for that day,
But
you'll
you can
see
see clearly here, that even the Associated Press. I mean, this is still a news story today because remember the fund that for all those people is running out, and there was
Sure.
basically like a national embarrassment. It's like, well, these people got cancer, fucking helping rebuild after 9/11,
and we did nothing for them.
Yeah, besides telling them to go fuck themselves, basically.
block. Now that's mainstream news. And now of the 14 search and rescue dogs, 8 of them have died from cancer.
In
Poor
summation,
dogs.
it's important to note that we only covered a tiny portion of the facts and evidence.
So here's our
that clearly
recap
shows
of that
9/11
day.
Was an inside job. Number one, the official story of 9/11 has been completely disproven. At every point, we've caught
Completely.
lying, manufacturing evidence or covering up evidence. From high-level government inside sources and publicly available facts, we now have a very clear picture of how 9/11 was carried out. Number one, we know that the men who were on board the aircraft, who were supposedly the hijackers, had their houses, cars, credit cards paid for by the U.S. government. They were, in truth, agents taking part in drills and nothing more. Supposed computer malfunctions at American and United ensured that all 4 planes only had 20% occupancy on board. On a day when
What?
There
flights
you
on
go.
the East Coast were an average of 80% full. Once the decoys, known as hijackers, were on board the planes, a gas was released, knocking out the occupants of the aircraft.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
A small
Okay.
criminal group in control of remote control systems patented for over 20 years took control of the aircraft and flew them into the World Trade Centers and Pentagon. The CIA-controlled drills that morning confused NORAD for over an hour.
Wow,
until
this
it
is a very complicated plan.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, but it's very succinct. It takes you step by step through how they did it, how
Yeah.
they covered it up.
was
Cool.
almost too late for them to shoot down the hijacked planes.
Wouldn't it be much easier to just plant bombs in these buildings and say the terrorists planted bombs? and
Terrorists
blew
put
them up?
bombs in
Yeah.
a building.
It
Like,
probably would.
why would that go through this
But
convoluted
would that
plot?
have? See, they tried.
They tried that earlier, Scotty. See, the World Trade Centers were bombed one other time. They tried to plant a bomb down there that blew it up.
Yeah, 1993, yeah. that's
Yep,
right.
a couple people died. And
Not enough.
nobody cared. So they knew that they had to do something bigger this time.
You know what's also
Something
convenient, too?
nasty.
I will say this point, is that all the 9/11 hijackers died during the attacks, so no
Yeah.
one can
Oh,
ask
yeah.
them.
Nobody
No
around to
witnesses.
question. No
Almost
witnesses.
too late. When they did find out, Dick Cheney wouldn't let the planes fly over 350 miles an hour, so 3 of the aircraft were able to hit their targets. The 4th wasn't able to because our sources in the Pentagon have told us generals didn't follow their orders and had Flight 93 shot down. If it would have hit its target, the Capitol, the government would have been completely decapitated, and the
Don't
president
they
could
actually
have
have an...
declared.
I
The
believe,
president was moved to a bunker before those planes hit a single target. So that ain't gonna happen. But
famously, if you've seen Fahrenheit 9/11, you saw when Bush was informed of the attacks, he kept reading, My
Yeah.
Pet Goat or whatever.
now
the fuck
I've
it was.
always believed that flight was it 93 or whatever was shot down. I think it's almost obvious that it was. His narrative, of course, is that it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to reach its intended target. It was
Wasn't-
supposed to slam into the White House.
Didn't they make a movie about it where it's like they said the passengers down on the flight?
Oh yeah, and the passenger. I mean, there's some real questionable shit about Flight 93 or whichever.
Yeah,
flight
no
it
one
was.
really know. I mean, well, they
There's people supposedly made cell phone calls.
yeah, there was cell phone
from
calls
altitude.
and said that like the famous thing they had was the guy saying like
Let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll, and we're gonna go attack and basically.
Yeah, let's roll, guys.
And that could have happened. I mean, I don't really know, but
Let the
It
good
just-
times roll.
It just sounds pretty implausible.
yeah, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Where do you guys stand on this whole 9/11? Do you think there were
I'm
elements
surprised
of
there
government?
weren't. I'm surprised the other planes didn't rise up. But
The other planes.
yeah, you know, like the other passengers, because like
Oh, I thought you meant like the.
no, some
I
guy,
took that a different way.
some guy fucking comes up with a box cutter and shit. I'd be like, man, let's fucking take this guy out. Fuck that
Yeah,
box cutter.
I mean,
When you said you thought the other planes didn't rise up, I thought you meant the hundreds of thousands of other planes that could have taken to the skies and flown into buildings.
The planes will never be oppressed no longer.
I'll tell you one thing about 9/11. It was a little pussy fucking attack.
Yeah.
They should have hijacked every plane in America.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously conquer every plane.
You fucking wrote neckbeard uprising. What about plane uprising?
Yeah,
dude?
plane uprising.
The plane uprising.
Yeah, they've had enough of
I mean, look,
screaming
any
kids and your
huge
fat
event,
asses.
like, look, in the version of
I mean,
reality we live in.
look, it happens with everything, though.
and
It's like
whatever-
JFK and fucking 9/11 and all the school shootings and. I mean,
isn't the
all of
government-
them get a fucking conspiracy treatment.
It's because of lack of transparency, though. isn't
Right?
it?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent.
But you have a limited perception of these events. Like, most of these events take place far away from where you're at. I mean, obviously, New York City, a lot of people did witness the events, but at the same time, it just seems like, yeah, there's an incomplete picture, but how... I mean, I think it's kind of almost a ridiculous expectation to believe we're ever going to get a complete picture, not simply because, one, of just the inability to actually thoroughly do that and you know, document all the amount of evidence from something like this. But I mean, I think it's fair to ask questions, but I don't think there's anything to suggest that, it was the U.S. government that did this, because there'd be much simpler ways to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the bigger a conspiracy gets, the more unbelievable it gets. You know what I mean? Because the more people have to be involved and silent and complicit.
And you can look at all the evidence he pointed out, like NORAD did this and did that, but like, how do we know that's not just a standard thing? Like, you have to evaluate all the evidence and actually thoroughly investigate what's being claimed.
I mean, look,
and you also need to have all the evidence, which we don't.
Before 9/11 happened, it's not like there was no indication
of terrorism
that there would ever be a plane hijacked and crashed into something kamikaze style.
What happened in the 70s and 80s and 90s?
What about
like
the memo?
that.
What about the memo that was handed to George Bush?
George
terrorist
Bush received
intent to use planes to attack infrastructure.
Yeah, he was told that point blank range that Osama bin Laden is looking for some muscle on a project like that.
Well, dude, it's terrorist old hat. I mean, they've been doing it for fucking 30 or 40 years before that, so it's not like this is something they hadn't realized they could do.
So, I mean, like, you know, whatever.
Total martial law. By the grace of...
Why? Like, Alex Jones' entire career, he's been talking about how martial law is just
the FEMA
around
camps. They're
the
setting up.
fucking corner.
Have you seen him, TJ?
Habeas corpus is gone, TJ. No trial. Straight to prison.
What used to be fairgrounds and open fields are now filled with FEMA containers, TJ. They're getting ready. Set up the camps.
Brutal. It's terrible stuff.
God, everything didn't go as planned. And so now the globalists have spent the last 3.5 years trying to cover up the sloppy job they did on 9/11.
The sloppy
They're
job.
counting on the public not being able to face the horror
Gave it a
of
sloppy
what really
job.
took place, so they can carry out another, even more devastating attack.
Man, they've taken a long time to do it. It's been a while.
Yeah, what are they waiting for?
And maybe, TJ,
These globalists, I mean, you can say what you want about them. They're slow.
There may be a distinct possibility, though, and this is crazy, but Alex Jones might just be entirely full of shit. No, I don't know that.
He might be, but he might not be.
But maybe he's not. There's always that fucking little doubting fucking voice in your head.
He might not be.
What if
Scotty.
he's right, TJ? What if Alex Jones is right about everything? Have you ever thought about that?
I guess you just never know.
I mean, have you ever thought about that? Seriously, have you ever sat down and then just been like, what if Alex Jones is fucking right, dude? I'm fucking wrong about all this shit. I'm actually the fucking crazy person.
I don't know. I think that probably, I mean, like, his conspiracies don't even all make sense together.
But maybe that's like, that's your flawed perception, dude. You just can't make those connections.
I'm just not thinking fucking 78 dimensionally like he is.
So I wanted to kind of talk about, because he really puts this at the feet of the globalists.
Right.
And I wanted to find out exactly, what is a globalist, really? So I went to fucking globalist.com, dude.
Globalist.
And they have a take on globalism that I think we might find interesting. Here it is. Globalist, according to globalist.com, this is what a globalist is. A globalist is anyone with a curiosity to learn about the world around them and an ability to keep an open mind and an interest in sorting out the changes being wrought every day can consider himself or herself a globalist.
That's a pretty loose definition, I think.
Globalists are by no means an elite circle of business and political leaders determined to push forward their agenda in a rapid-fire fashion. What unites globalists is a strong interest in understanding more about the modern global economy, politics, and culture, and how these forces interrelate.
Sounds lame. Look at Alex Jones is going to tear him apart, dude. Look at this.
We're going to destroy you and not let any of your bread be sold, or your sheep be sold, or your beef be sold, or your grain be sold, or your bottled water be sold to the EU. And England said, fine, go ahead and do that.
We're going to accept all your stuff. All we're saying is Brussels isn't making all our decisions anymore. This is simple. Foreign mega banks set up the EU. It's unelected. Through trade deals like TPP previously, they got people roped into it. We were about to go under it, and America said no, and that's what's happening. But the globalists got to watch their ass now because they want the end of man to be here and their humet to be over. They want to all be about.
Isn't that kind of like the opposite of what globalists want?
Didn't also with the EU, didn't those countries have to vote to become part of the EU?
They did indeed, yeah.
Yeah, so false.
They were roped into it by TPP.
They had treaties and votes and all kinds of other shit. That's
Trade
not
deals.
Like, yeah, that wasn't like they just.
They were roped. They were roped.
They were roped in.
They were roped by trade deals.
Get you a trade deal. Come on, free trade deal.
Machines and digital and social engineering and control and manipulation. But the groups that I yelled at and said, what's your problem letting the New World Order do all this? What's your problem, FBI and CIA, going along with all this corruption? Why are you part of this? And they listened, actually, and were the key players in bringing down Hillary and the globalists and the pedophile rings in the last election. So again, New World Order, don't think that you're going to sit there and manipulate the warriors that make this country so strong and destroying themselves and their family. They now know about your plan to bring us all down, and they're now working overtime to defeat you and have a system that's pro-human. So you get ready for that, and know, if you want a war with humanity,
I like this fucking promo he's cutting, man.
Yeah, he cuts a great promo.
He's going to kick the shit out of The Undertaker at SummerSlam,
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
It's going to be
I'm
fucking
convinced.
crazy.
Helen, you can feel my spirit leaning up against yours, globalist. If you
Look at them liver spots are
Dude,
starting
he
to
does
show
that
up, though.
snort shit, dude.
Fucking globalist.
Globalist, you'll be destroyed at SummerSlam.
want a war, you better believe you got one, and my soul and my will and everything in my ancestors is against you. So you feel that New World Order and George Soros and everybody to pray with.
I can just imagine George Soros watching this like,
Ah!
no, he's coming for me.
Oh no, I feel his spirit leaning against me.
You know what, dude? Whatever, dude. In Earthbound, that's how you defeat Gygas, dude.
Yeah, you gotta lean your spirit
Alex
against
Jones yelled angrily at a camera like George Soros weakened.
George Soros takes a fucking -2 penalty to Dex.
That God strike you down politically and lay you low and show you for the scum you are. The truth is, in God's plan, you're only here to ignite humanity and bring us to the next level. You are failures from the foundation of the earth. You are scum.
I want to believe that Alex did like a take of that, and he's like, no, I'm gonna do this one with more energy, and then he did another one where he like flubbed a line and
Not crazy enough.
all right, take 7, you know.
I need to be sweatier. Somebody let me work out a little bit.
Let me get
sweaty.
missed.
Missed me. I need to look sweaty and angry.
Damn, and he just walks off. Mic drop. Mic drop status.
That'll show those fucking pesky globalists and their
So,
George Soros.
what do you guys think about this overarching idea of the New World Order and globalists
looks like he's
having
taking
a
a shit.
secret agenda and wanting to push that agenda on all of us? I think it's true, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's, but I just don't think
If it's true,
I think
though,
that it's true, but not to the level of organization
even if
or
it,
planning
whether it's true
that
or
he
not,
thinks it's true.
I can't tell you that, but I can tell you one thing: Alex Jones wouldn't be the one with the scoop. You know what I mean? So it's like that's really the problem here with this is that I can't necessarily say he's wrong. I mean, unless obviously it makes a totally demonstrably false statement. But I think at the same time, there's nothing to really support. There's no evidence to support what he's saying. So I don't really take him seriously on that front. I mean, I don't.
Sure.
I mean, unless you can actually demonstrate some evidence. Now, there's evidence that globalism definitely exists because of how interconnected people are now. I mean,
Right.
like, there's people that watch this show that live in Australia, and I mean, how would that be possible?
That's globalism. Right?
Yeah, I mean, so globalism does exist as a force. You can buy things from other countries. You can fucking trade with other
American
countries.
influence in other countries and other countries'
our
influence
culture.
on American
Look at
culture.
Netflix. Look at the influence Netflix.
It's an
has.
open market
Yeah.
of culture and influence
We're
now.
all living in America.
I think
it exists
I
in
think
that
it's
way.
real, but here's the thing. I think it's going on right in our like. There's nothing secretive about it. I think
right,
that's
it
where
happens
Alex,
all out in the open
Right.
for the most part.
That's
Well,
where
you need-
Alex Jones and his ilk, I think, stumble stumble the hardest is this insinuation that it's some shadowy group of people. Like,
It's the opposite of
it's
that.
right out in public. Yeah, yes, there is an agenda against the common man. There is. They want to extract as much money out of the common man and give as little back as possible. That's the agenda. That's the globalist agenda, if you want to call it that. I don't really think it has anything
Well,
to do with
that's like the
globalism.
forces of capitalism just at work.
Right,
to
it's
begin with.
economic
Yeah.
exploitation, and that's where Alex Jones and his ilk run into a problem because they ignore.
Well, if that's the fucking concern,
You know,
then they should all be socialists.
he's
because
a strong.
That's the fucking,
exactly, that's the problem.
That's the opposite. This guy's a conservative, so he supports that system. So he should shut the fuck up.
Right,
This guy's a Trump supporter.
and it makes
for fuck's
him
sake.
it makes him unwilling to look at capitalism and the economic exploitation that comes with capitalism being so intrinsically involved with how your government does business. He can't look at that because that would be a betrayal of his conservative leaning. So it can't be that. It
He's
can't
a big
be
factor in globalism too. I mean, he has people in the fucking UK. Like, what's the dude? Paul Joseph Watson, the guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
you got a bunch of shit
David
for,
Icke.
for signal boosting, TJ, like, and that shit. Like, but all this communication relies on like this message going out and people being able to receive it. So if it's a nefarious, shadowy thing, then how do you do that? And have
Right.
like, how do you control a fucking global society unless communication is at the core of it?
So, yeah, I mean, I just think it's a stumbling block. And I think, people that are into Alex Jones or have this kind of bent to their thinking are so close. Like, I feel like they're so close to realizing that they're right and they're wrong. They're right in their idea that there is an agenda against the common person in most first world countries. They're wrong about it being some fucking horrible military take. It's just economic exploitation. It's just keeping you having less money and putting more money in the hands of the elite.
Yeah, creating rules in which benefit the already
Right.
people with already established and have money, of course.
But really, guys, we've talked about some of his principal antagonists tonight. And no matter how you feel about it, each one of these kind of lines of attack, attacking the secrecy of their meetings with the Bilderberg group.
Well, I got more. I mean, we got Obama and Hillary. We got
Oh,
vampires.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I forgot. I pulled a bunch of different. Yeah, we can
you
watch.
pulled some random ones that we don't really have any text for, but we can just kind of quickly breeze
Sure,
through.
yeah. If you want to take a look
Like,
at
this
some
is,
more of his ranting against globalism.
This is Alex Jones. This is Obama and Hillary are demons from hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes them way cooler than they actually are, though.
I know. That's another thing I hate about these conspiracy nuts. They always make shit sound way cooler than it
They're
actually is.
demons from hell.
Like I would have voted for Hillary if I thought she was a literal
Not to
demon
mention-
from hell.
I mean, look, Alex, I don't know. I mean, you might be against demons or afraid of demons, but demons in themselves are pretty impressive. I mean, they're intelligent, they're cunning, they're able to possess, mortals like nothing. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Demons from hell.
He was a nice guy, actually. You like him? Oh, that's good. Alex Jones, nice guy.
She is a demon. She is an abject, psychopathic demon from hell that as soon as she gets into power is going to try to destroy the planet. I'm sure of that, and people around her say she's so dark now and so evil and so possessed that they are having nightmares, they're freaking out.
Your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope.
There are dozens of videos and photos of Obama having flies land on him indoors at all
And
times.
dying
of the year,
around him,
and he'll
too.
be next to 100 people and no one has flies on him. I was told people around her that they think she's demon possessed, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and
Wow.
say it, okay? This is biblical.
Trump
She's
seems
going
to agree.
launch a
Think about all the
nuclear war.
times that Hillary needed help to get into vehicles and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
That's like that's
Possessed.
the demonic possession just
That's
taking
the real
over.
Hillary Rodham Clinton trying to come out and the demon having a fight with her,
I know I'm right. Hillary's into like creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
Great to be with you.
Just disgusting with flies all over. Big, fat, stinking. Imagine how bad she smells, man. Told there's a rotten smell around Hillary. I'm not kidding, folks. I've been told this by high up folks. They said, listen, Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
I believe
I never
that.
said it's 'cause
That-
they-
I don't know that they're actually demons, but I bet they both stink, dude.
You believe the
Yeah.
you believe the conspiracy?
Especially Hillary, dude. I bet Hillary smells
I could maybe
awful.
see
She's a rotten
Hillary
fish
smelling
market,
bad.
dude.
I don't
Like
think Obama.
sour.
I don't think Obama smells bad, dude.
Like sour. Yeah, Obama probably does smell pretty smooth at a
mean,
distance.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe if you fucking catch him after a
Oh,
fucking
come
basketball
on, dude.
game or
Obama
something.
Obama probably smells good. I would say. But Hillary, dude, Hillary probably smells old and musty like a fucking goddamn Tokyo fish market,
Ugh.
Yeah.
But I've talked to people that are in protective details. I mean, they're scared of her, and they say, listen, she's a frickin' demon, and she stinks, and so does Obama. And I go, like what? Sulfur.
They're demons, dude.
Smell like hell.
They smell like
Obama is a fucking demon!
They smell like hell.
TJ, tell me right now that Obama's not a demon, dude, because look what just fucking... Look, there's an image.
I'm going to look you dead in the eye right now, Scotty.
Don't fucking...
Dead in the eye. Come over here. Come over here. We're
Right
on
here.
the same camera. Just come over here, Scotty. I want to tell you. I'll look you dead in the eye. Obama is not... I can't even do it. I can't even do it. He's a demon.
He's a
He's
demon.
a fucking demon.
They all know it.
Everyone... All right. All right.
Oh, shit, you're
Look.
blurry.
Oh, shit. The demon power.
Yeah, dude.
The demons control your camera, TJ. They didn't want you to see the truth.
Dude, Obama demon just
What
fucking...
the fuck, dude?
Obama cursed your camera, bro.
Come on, focus.
Yeah, dude. It got
Focus, camera, come on.
It got focus fucked. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, wow, TJ.
TJ's a
You
smudge
fucked up,
now.
TJ.
I love it.
Smudge J. I love it.
I have to try to fix this shit mid-show.
Blur
That's
J, dude.
good. Turn off the autofocus.
Blur
first
J
of
is
all.
best TJ, dude.
There you go.
Best TJ is Blur J.
You know what? You look a lot better with that blur
Blur
vision.
J.
Bring back Blur,
Blur
J,
J.
dude.
Blur J.
Bring back Blur J.
Bring back Blur J.
Bring back Blur J. Bring back Blur J. Come on, Blur J.
Oh, you know what? You guys, fuck you. You be the motherfuckers who are blurry.
All right, go ahead.
First of all, I turned off the autofocus on this
You
shit.
can't
so-
even make
President,
us. Oh, no! Blur Paul and Blur Scotty, dude. Holy shit.
Blurati.
Blurati.
All right.
Whatever. Fuck you guys.
It's like
It's
a
enough
form of
levity.
exercise.
We're covering serious topics tonight here, guys.
Yeah, like the
people
vampires.
wanted Alex
I'm
Jones.
not ready to do it yet. So I'm going to show a bunch of them together.
Uh-huh.
With weird stuff about sex with kids in the background.
Yeah.
But you got to blow up the images. And it's unbelievable. It sent chills down my spine when I was in Hawaii, and it was sent to me by a researcher.
When you were Hawaiian?
And
Did he say when he was
it says,
Hawaiian?
When he was in
pizza.
Hawaii,
I like pizza
chilling,
all
dude.
over the place. And you just look at these people, and it's just like, ugh. So you have to understand, it's a
How did
psychic
Alex Jones get to
vampire.
Hawaii?
It wants to ruin the innocence of children.
TJ, I have a
And you know, it
question.
doesn't make sense.
I mean,
Why-
did he
it's
say
conspiracy.
Hawaiian?
Yeah,
it
he
didn't
did.
even make
He
sense.
said when he was in Hawaii. But I have a
Like,
question. So, Alex Jones, how did you get to? Did you take a boat? Did you fly there? So you flew on one of those airlines that could potentially be controlled by the globalist elite? Why couldn't they just? Why would you want to put yourself in that situation where they could just take you out, dude?
Yeah, why haven't they yet?
You know, why haven't they just taken you out on that flight? I mean, if you're spreading the truth so hardcore, like you went to Hawaii and you had a good time and you got a fucking tan and went surfing and shit on a plane, it's like, wouldn't you be a little wary if, like, you believed that planes were crashed intentionally into buildings to fly again?
No.
Because God protects him.
Because I'm a man. My heart's filled with blood.
Incubus, an old legend that sit on your chest and steal your breath at night. You know, that's an old wives' tale. Or, cat steal your breath. You know, and they'd be making biscuits on your chest.
Making
Can't really think it's
biscuits on your
chest.
chest?
You know, shows affection. So it thinks it's pumping milk out. But old timers thought, oh, look, the cat's on your chest stealing your breath. It's not like that. It's whatever this psychic thing is though attracted to the innocence of children and wants to dominate them, control them, ruin them, kill them. But it's a continuum. There's always like these weird blob Renfield-looking guys that look like Dennis Hastert. The suppliers always look like Hastert. Then you've got kind of active Renfields that are the middlemen that produce
Oh, these are actual photos of what we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
the child snuff films, and they look like the guy that just got caught murdering little girls and little boys and torturing them to death. And the Australian government wasn't going to prosecute him, so he got caught in the Philippines. King of the pedophiles is what I called him. Eyes wide shut ceremonies with these women where they rape and torture little girls, where they beg for mommy and then they strangle them. And stuff I'm not going to even mention on air.
Okay. So so that was the stuff that was accepted.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the
Gotcha.
airworthy stuff.
That was the airworthy stuff. But then there's stuff that's even worse.
The rest of this he ain't even going to go into, TJ.
You
it
look
gets
at him,
so
he
much
looks
worse.
Just like Jimmy Savile. So there's like
Why does so they all look alike? Like, is it like they're clones or something?
3 or 4 types. And at the top, it's a Dracula type. And they've got a certain look in their
Dracula
eye and
type?
a certain affectation of how they operate. It's a spirit. And it's like a program. It's like a spiritual program. And I've learned to recognize it now in certain people. In royal families, there's one that's got the look that is one of our prominent patriot leaders now that's been shoved on us. And when I finally learned to just go
Not naming
with that,
any names, though, huh?
then it's like boom, and you look into it, it's exactly that. It's like they've got to look, folks. I mean, it's like police are driving down the road and they go, look at this guy. They go over and the guy's got stolen loot and weapons and, just murdered some old lady. It's like a craziness. You can tell some guy that's just into being evil and like.
Is that what criminals are doing?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
You just drive down the street, you see a criminal. More crime.
That would make it easy to catch them, though.
Yeah, dude.
What are you doing today, homeboy? I'm gonna be doing the most evil thing that I could ever conceive of doing, homie. What are you doing? Killing old women.
Too bad he's kind of got a spirit about him. It's the same thing. You learn these types because the spirit in them manifests as a look.
You know what the great thing about the show is he's going into this like how you can just look at somebody and know they're evil and know they're a killer. But we've refuted this on this show by covering guys like Jeffrey Dahmer and more recently, what's his name, John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Who managed to operate with total impunity because he looked normal.
Yeah, because no one looked at him and thought like, whoa.
Which is really how these, and Bundy, we haven't looked at Bundy yet, but he's another example of how looking and acting normal can be a boon for people. They don't get to operate killing kids and killing old ladies and shit, walking around looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame or fucking Nosferatu or some shit.
They blend into the fucking society around them.
They look like you or me. Well, maybe not me.
Yeah, you look evil.
Yeah.
That's why I act evil sometimes.
Wait, what?
And
what?
Behave like them just to show you what they look like.
Oh, he's talking about when he does that.
Okay. He uses that against me because I can kind of pick it up and do it. I can't really do the Savelle. Pull up the guy in the Philippines convicted of torturing and murdering little girls. I forget his name. Sully. And you look at him, he looks just, pull him up. And in his frontal shots, he has the exact leering demon look and laughing about it in court. Peter Gerald Scully. And he looks just like Savelle. And he's the intermediate level to full Dracula. Full Dracula.
Wow. So he's halfway to Dracula.
Half Dracula.
Yeah.
You look at Prince Philip. Pull up Prince Philip, please. You're talking full Dracula.
All right.
He's gone
Sweet.
full Dracula.
Finally.
You never go full Dracula.
Yeah,
he is a
pull it
direct
up. I wanna
line
see
of
this.
Vlad the Impaler. His son now lives in Dracula Castle in Romania. About 6 months out of the year. They don't see Charles much anymore. He has
there he
special
is.
relationship.
Dude, Dracula was way more handsome than that.
Yeah,
in
that
pretty
just
much,
looks- that
in
looks
pretty
like an
much
old-
any incarnation.
Yeah. That looks like just an old liver spotted old man, dude.
Yeah, he just looks like a fucking
He
ugly
does look a
old
little
man.
evil. I'm not
Dude,
gonna.
no, dude, he's
I'm
the
not
fucking,
gonna lie.
he's the Count, dude. He's fucking.
He does
he's
look a little
Dracula.
Orlockish, but
Yep.
all old men do.
With the local orphanages. You look into it. It's all open source. But Philip is full Drac. And when I say that, I don't mean he's a reptoid from Planet Pop-Tart. I'm telling you, his son, oh my God, it's unbelievable. That do not show. Was that mainstream TV covering Daisy's destruction? Good God. I just can't handle it anymore.
All right, then.
He doesn't like
So there's-
mainstream TV, dude.
There's some kind of fucking Dracula pedophiles going around, I guess. And
Psychic
this-
vampires.
this
And there's
next one-
levels of Dracula.
Right,
too,
there's like
we
half
learned.
Dracula.
Intermediate Dracula,
There's
full
like intermediate Dracula,
Half-
like beginner
halfula,
Dracula, you know?
Fulula, Kingula. There's all these different Draculas that I never knew about.
I never
Mega
realized.
Dracula, Mecha Dracula, Dracula-zilla. This is how the New World Order enslaves countries. This is long, so we
Yeah,
won't get
I
through all
figured
of it,
we'd
but-
probably skip around this one a little bit.
But we can take a little
Yeah.
gander. Why not?
This is run by a group of elite families. They're the shareholders of XYZ Bank. Well, people don't call my syndicated show anymore and disagree with that fact because now in the news they admit, yes, there's a world government. Yes, there's a new world order. So let's look at the New World Order and what it has in store for you and your family. And I assure you, my friend...
Why don't we look at what it has in store
Yeah.
for you, which is like a global media empire
Yeah.
that you take immense
So-
pride
we'll
in.
take a look at that
When
soon
was that
enough.
admitted? Who admitted it? In what context was it admitted that all those things are true?
because he said
I've never
so.
said so.
I've never turned on CNN and it's like, all right, guys, we'd like to now level with you. There is a one world government, and you're all under the control of the Bilderberg group.
Yeah, here's the leaders of every known country in the world, and there's a joint statement being made. Yep, there's a globalist one world government. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is nothing less than total enslavement.
Oh.
There is no left-wing or right-wing world government. It was founded and chartered by the military-industrial complex in San Francisco in 1945. It is nothing but a debaters club to basically steer and control the third world.
Master debaters.
Isn't it great? You can just play some fucking stock B-roll footage, put a fucking whatever music you want over it.
It's sinister now.
Now you just have this narrative of like, look, them all meeting. They run everything. You're a slave. You're a
Look
serf.
at these politicians meeting with other politicians. You know, it's like
evil ass fucking shit.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the evil shit they do. They're coming for you. They're coming for you.
Oh, yeah,
look,
Nazi Germany.
All
Funded and trained. In fact, I have the news articles out of large establishment East Coast newspapers from the early 1940s where the president's grandfather, George Bush's grandfather, Prescott Bush, actually was arrested and fined for trading with the enemy, running over 50% of Nazi steel production through Brown Brother Harriman. And in fact, the London Guardian reported from now declassified secret documents that Hitler saw the Duke of Windsor, the man who would be king, as no enemy, U.S. files reveal. Well, of course, the Duke of Edinburgh lived in Germany during most of World War II and then escaped near the end to fascist Franco Spain. The British have...
And then Madonna made a movie about how great he was.
Yeah. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Oh, wrong movie.
I don't think it was that one, but
that's another dictator.
Yeah, Madonna likes making movies about how great dictators are for some reason.
Yeah, she's got that same thing Trump's got. She just likes them.
She just loves them.
So yeah, this whole thing is basically this. It's all
yeah.
You know, it's all
a conspiracy. They're all trying to do Bilderberg, Bohemian.
Yeah. I mean, all of these things helped to catapult Alex Jones into kind of a national and international stardom. And each one played its role, but there really is one battle in Alex Jones's life that's ongoing, seems to have started very early and rages to this day. His greatest foe, Alex Jones. And we really, I think he kind of made a career on this is a false flag, this shooting never happened, 9/11 didn't happen the way it was, crisis actors. But he really ran into the people's tolerance of that sort of stuff during Sandy Hook, which I'll give a brief recap of what happened there. So in 2012 at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, Adam Lanza killed 20 first graders and 6 school employees before turning the gun on himself. Earlier that day, he'd killed his mother at the home they shared. The Sandy Hook shooting was, at the time, which I think is an interesting distinction because it's not that long ago, but it's already been surpassed. But at the time, second deadliest mass shooting in the United States after the 2007 shooting at Virginia Tech. Both, by the way, have been eclipsed now, in which a gunman killed 32 students and teachers before committing suicide. So Alex Jones once again took this giant national news story and tragedy and immediately started spinning a conspiratorial narrative around it. And went too far, I guess some people would argue, and is now being sued for defamation and all kinds of other shit by the families of some of the victims of Sandy Hook for being told that they were crisis actors and for inciting his fans to, you know, harass them, write angry letters, and stalk them, and all this crazy shit.
It's totally fucking crazy, and there's a lot of issues in play. It's, you know, part of it's free speech, part of it is, you know, he's basically started a harassment campaign of all of these people because, dude, a lot of these people have had to move, and like they get death threats constantly. Just admit your child wasn't killed.
Oh yeah, a lot of these families have moved out of the area. Some of them have changed names.
Remember we watched that fucking dude on DP? What was it? Kinky Joe? We used to fucking call him, and he's like, "I'll give $25,000 to any Sandy Hook parent." It's like, fuck you, dude. It's like, what do you mean? Like, why would someone lie about their child being murdered at a fucking school? Like, what's the fucking benefit?
Well, I guess this one was one step too far for Alex. And while he made a lot of hay claiming that Sandy Hook was an inside job, in the end, it seems to have been a crippling blow to him. And his reputation really hasn't recovered. I mean, the trial hasn't even started yet for him. But he's also battling a huge divorce trial, of a divorce settlement now, a lot of which has been made public, in which he's had to admit, or at least admitted in court for the benefit of the court, that Alex Jones, this man that we've been watching all night, and his positions are basically a show. Just a kind of a character that he does online to get people whipped up. And admitting that has been a very hurtful thing to this other case going on, as you can imagine. Because what he's admitting is, I don't even really genuinely believe this shit. I'm just kind of a circus sideshow guy profiting off of the grief of these families. And it just feels like it hurts his case pretty profoundly.
What he said? What didn't he say it was like a shared psychosis kind of thing? That
Well, we'll
he
get.
was
Yeah,
brainwashed?
I pulled a clip from his deposition, and I guess we could take a look at that if you want. Here, this is as good a time as any.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to hand you a copy of what I have marked as Exhibit 4. You ever seen that before?
I don't remember.
You're not sure if you've seen this before?
No.
Okay. You'll see up at the top it has a timestamp, 12/14/12.
Yes.
You know that's the date of Sandy Hook, right?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
Is that the date?
It is. It is, Mr. Jones. You will admit, I mean, you've done mocking imitations of Sandy Hook parents crying, correct?
No.
No.
You gotta love how
No.
That's a
just
great
both ways,
deposition,
like,
though, because
no.
they've got video, man.
I want to play you a video clip, two, from September 24th, 2014, and November 11th, 2016. Will you play the video clip called Crying?
No. Oh, I mean, yes.
And then you've got parents laughing.
Oh, wow.
It's a weird and echoey because
And they walk over to the
both
camera.
mics are picking it up.
And not just one, but a bunch of parents doing this. Then we see footage of one of the reported fathers of the victims, Robbie Parker, doing classic acting training where he's laughing and joking, and they say, "Hey, we're live." And he goes, "Oh." And maybe that's real. I'm sure it is.
He's like, what? He's like, what? I didn't do nothing.
That look on his face, dude.
Yeah.
Turns out that you're no match for the New World Order.
Yeah, the
huh,
New World
Alex?
Order has finally won, dude.
It looks like they've beaten you.
Look at him. He looks like a scared little boy that got caught doing something he shouldn't have been doing.
You realize now, you were mocking the difficult emotional
I don't think he's
reactions
gonna say
of
that at all.
people who prove.
I think he feels vindicated.
No, I was not mocking. I was showing what people were questioning. It was not to mock the parents. It was showing why people were questioning. It's you that is projecting mocking onto it. I was.
Oh my God, Alex.
Damn, they're projecting.
When I was imitating the Sandy Hook parents, I was like, boo-hoo, where, my kid's fucking dead, boo-hoo.
Yeah, he was just...
That wasn't mockery.
Why are you projecting
Why
all
would you
your...
interpret that as mockery, huh?
Look, Alex Jones was just reporting the news, dude. He was just showing people what happened.
He's just showing why people are questioning it. That's all he's fucking doing,
It's not
dude.
mocking someone to tell the truth, is it?
That's not mockery.
Showing what he did.
Starting into 2015, you learned that a Sandy Hook parent named Leonard Posner was behind a group called Honor Network. Correct? That was fighting online abuse of Sandy Hook victims?
I did, I think.
And when you learned that, and when Honor...
Dude, I know from watching Alex Jones' show that he's got a solid fucking memory, okay?
Yeah.
Because he has
he
an
plays dumb...
encyclopedic knowledge of all this shit, whether you agree with him or not, which obviously you shouldn't because he's a fucking retard.
Yeah. I actually watched all 4 hours of
the deposition.
There's actually two full sessions, and I've watched the whole thing in preparation for this episode.
Yeah.
And he plays dumb through the whole deposition.
I don't recall.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Maybe. Oh.
I don't know. I don't want to answer him properly, and I'm not sure, so I'm not an accountant. I don't know.
He doesn't even like. They get him to. I didn't pull it, but they get him to a point where they're like, "You started InfoWars, right? InfoWars LLC."
I don't know.
You know, it's like, what?
You're not even sure about who owns your
So
company.
he was clearly like told by his lawyer to just claim he doesn't recall most of the stuff, and he does that.
I don't know.
He does that through most of this deposition, but there's
I have
more.
no idea.
There's more to this that we definitely
Claimed
want
to YouTube in
wanna see.
2015. You told your viewers that Honor was run by Mr. Posner. You showed addresses being used by Mr. Posner, and you said he needed to be investigated in Florida. Didn't you say that?
Objection is to form.
No.
Okay, let's play a clip here. I'm going to show you something that you and Mr. Dew were talking about on February 12th, 2015. Can you play addresses for me?
He's been getting all kinds of grief from Mr. Posner. Anything that comes out, social media shut down due to Sandy Hook false copyrights. What's interesting is they list the address for the Honor Network in Boca Raton, Florida. You look up the address on that, which says... You think, if they had this organization, they would have some sort of headquarters where they would be setting up a memorial.
Well, we'll just start investigating that. I guess I'm going to have to probably go on up to Newtown. I'm going to have to probably go investigate Florida as well.
If a person were to stake out those addresses, they could wait for Mr. Posner to come pick up his mail, couldn't they?
Objection is to form.
True?
I mean, the guy's running an anti-free speech foundation.
Let me make sure I have this really clear. You don't believe the official story of Sandy Hook. You think there was cover-up? You think there was manipulation? You think that there is some sinister thing going on?
I think children died. I believe mass shootings happened. They just had one in Brazil, a tragedy. And I believe it's a crisis. And I go back to the point of all gun owners being collectively blamed. Then it's traumatic, and so people go and they find anomalies, and then I've kind of retrospectively gone back and seen how I did believe that stuff. And then I go,
wow. What? This just proves Alex Jones is full of shit, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden he's like, well, you have to understand, there's anomalies in these things, and then people make a big deal extrapolating the anomaly. That's your career.
Yeah, your career is an
Your
anomaly.
career is about extrapolating the anomalies of these major news
Yep.
stories and saying, hey, not all this adds up, therefore it's this crazy shit that I think that really doesn't add up at all, but it's against the official narrative,
But it
so
must
it must
be that.
be true.
Yeah, it must be that.
There's vampires, there's fucking Bilderbergs, there's Bohemian Groves, there's
massive-
demons, there's God and the devil are fighting for America's soul.
There's massive false flag events occurring all the time. It's just like
Martial law is right around the fucking corner.
The FEMA
Has
death
been.
Blah,
camps.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And now here you are in a deposition when you actually, the first time that you actually are putting your balls on the line to actually really, in a substantive way, stand up for what you believe in, and all of a sudden it's like, well, a lot of times, you see things and you get confused, and I was confused, and I saw how I was misled by the anomalies, but now I recognize the true validity of the... Like, what?
He goes further than confused.
backing up now, studied more actually the real anomalies, and it's just the school system and government trying to cover its rear end from liability. Cover up of the events, and I think there's a lot of evidence showing there could have been a second shooter. There is the helicopter footage of the man in the woods.
Okay.
total backpedal.
So he
there.
does eventually
like-
end up going on to say that he's got some kind of psychosis. He says it's kind of a psychosis comes over him when he's covering these things, and he doesn't really... It's kind of a lack of accountability on his part, once again, and it comes off completely disingenuously. You can go watch the... I kind of recommend you do. If you're interested in Alex Jones at all...
Go watch the whole deposition.
Yeah, or at least kind of, skip through it.
Skim through it, yeah.
It's really interesting. I'm kind of interested in law and procedural law and stuff. I have been since I was on that stupid fucking jury for almost a year of my life. And so it's interesting to watch from that standpoint. But it's really interesting to see him out of character for so long, clearly scared and trying to answer things properly, playing dumb on things and trying to make ham-fisted excuses for his constant misinformation of his audience all these years, which is really what's on trial here. And as a result of this, and this is a complicated thing for me, it's become kind of tough to find Alex Jones stuff on the internet anymore. I mean, I was clearly able to find some stuff, and you would too if you went looking. But I remember a time back when we were doing DP.
You could swim in it.
I mean, yeah, when I was responsible for pulling a lot of the stuff we did on DP for a brief time, I was swimming in Alex Jones, and now it's no longer kind of that way. He's been kind of purged as a person from a lot of the internet, and people seem to kind of delight in taking down his conspiracy theories and making them unavailable. And that seems to have happened in a big way, which I kind of don't like. You know, on one hand, I can understand the grief of these families and it being compounded by actual threats against them and having to worry about going to their mailbox. They certainly deserve some recompense for that because that's retarded. But on the other hand, the other result has been kind of the silencing of Alex Jones in terms of him as a internet figure. Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I'm against it. I was totally against the deplatforming of Alex Jones. Do I think that he's irresponsible? Yes. Do I think that he misinforms his audience, often intentionally? Yes.
Yeah.
But what do you say?
And that's clear.
But what do you say to the people that look? There's damage being done. Obviously, these families are being harassed. He's spreading obvious falsehoods. Shouldn't we silence that person?
No.
Why? Well, why not?
Because he has the right to do that. I mean, look, if you say that Alex Jones doesn't have the right to go out there and criticize the official story of any given thing, then that means none of us have the right to do that.
Right, because any one of us can be looked at in the same way. Oh, he's just a kook.
If we say that his conspiracy theories can be censored, then we can start interpreting conspiracy theory very broadly. And we can shut down anyone. We could say,
it's a slippery slope fallacy,
you're criticizing the human rights record of Israel. Well, we think they have a great human rights record, so that's a conspiracy.
Right.
So I think that it would just be disastrous.
But aren't you making a slippery slope argument at that point, though?
Yeah, he is.
Well,
you have to admit to it is.
But when it comes to our legal system, you have to make slippery slope arguments because legal verdicts create legal precedents.
Yeah, there's kind of an avalanche effect.
There is going to be a slippery slope. You can't say
There
it's a
already
fallacy when you're talking about legal precedent being set that says freedom of speech no longer includes this thing. That's going to have consequences beyond just Alex Jones'
It seems like it was
verdict.
private tech companies that went after Alex Jones.
Right.
I don't think the government silenced Alex Jones.
But if he loses this deposition, I mean, this is obviously
this is a civil matter.
If he loses this civil suit, it says, hey, free speech does not protect you from liability from saying these kind of things. And could that have consequences that go far beyond Alex Jones? Absolutely, it could.
Of course it could. And on top of that, as a result of this civil suit, he has been scrubbed from the internet, basically. Like nobody will, he's persona non grata. YouTube won't have him. Facebook, Twitter, everybody's banned him. And
we're shocked. I mean, I think he very briefly, for like a day or two, had a Roku app. It was like, oh, Alex Jones can be on Roku. It's like, nope.
Gets yanked. Yeah. So for me, and a lot of people think that me going I want Alex Jones back, I want his channel back, I want him to have his voice back. I don't think anybody should be silenced. Deal with this matter individually and don't silence his whole. They think that means I'm tacitly supporting his misinformation of his audience or his exploitation of the paranoid leanings of that audience, and I'm not. I'm defensive of his speech and his right to speak, his right to open his mouth and say the words that he wants to say. And it stops there. And I'll defend you and anybody else on that. And so that's why I have a hard time with this kind of reaction that seems to have happened to him stepping over the line with Sandy Hook.
Right. Now, it looks like there's other matters that are tied in that go beyond freedom of speech already by our current standards, like the doxing stuff.
Doxing and, the violent threats and stuff. All of that stuff has to be factored in. These people's pain and suffering was worth something.
It's not a clear case. It's not, you can't look at it just from a freedom of speech perspective. But I think that has to be something that's included in how this is.
But I don't
handled.
think it should ever be used as an impetus to silence the dude. Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean,
take down his Sandy Hook video or whatever, but don't.
Yeah, I mean, look.
The internet. I mean, clearly, if you look at these tech companies, they've clearly established that freedom of speech is not going to be the norm on the internet.
No,
It's just.
You can't deny the existence of at least one conspiracy in relation to Alex Jones. It's not a fucking coincidence that everybody dropped him basically within 24 hours.
No.
Across all these different, there was an agreement made. I don't know if it was made in the Bilderberg group or wherever, but somebody said to somebody else, "Hey, you own a big tech company. I own a big tech company. We're gonna fuck Alex Jones."
Or it might have been that aforementioned avalanche thing
Right.
that it
One
comes out
person does it, and
comes
another
out that
person's
Facebook
like, "Oh, we
did it,
can't-
and Twitter's like,
we can't look.
Yeah.
We don't want
YouTube-
Facebook to look
yeah.
more virtuous than us,
If
so
YouTube
we better
says,
do it.
"Hey, you know what? Alex Jones is gone." The other ones are like, "You know what? If YouTube said that, fuck him. He's gone."
YouTube was I think one of the last to drop him.
I will defend Alex Jones on another thing too.
Go ahead.
I like that he's out there. I really do. I look at him when I step back from the destructiveness of the false narratives that he starts, which I can't stop. I'm not the dude to slap fucking tape over anybody's fucking mouth.
Reality.
I like that he's out there. I like he's a shit stirrer, and he's a fun kind of personality to make fun of.
In
And
terms of like
to listen to, and he's right sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like
in terms of like him as a performer, like as a talking head, he's like got to be among the best, just as far as like raw talent goes.
Oh, yeah.
He's compelling. He's interesting. You see based on his numbers on Joe Rogan, just how many people are just super interested in what Alex Jones is thinking, doing, saying, even if they view it just purely as entertainment, as many people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, a lot of people watch Alex Jones, know he's full of shit.
Of course.
Now, some are true believers, but a lot of people watch him, know he's full of shit. They're just entertained by him because he's so
Right.
fucking nuts, and they never know what he's going to say next.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that kind of personality being out there. You can take the issues of him doxing people one at a time and punish him for those if you see fit. I think he is due some punishment for shit like that. But this idea that because he's done that, we want to make him go away. His speech is no longer allowed here. It's not part of our algorithm anymore. No more Alex Jones. That's a loss in my book. A loss of an agitator, a loss of what Socrates called a gadfly, right? I know one of these people out there that whips up people into kind of emotional frenzies and forces them to take stands and kind of forces them almost at gunpoint with their speech to critically examine things, even if their impassioned pleas for critical examination are laced with fantasies and wild conspiracy theories. At the very least, he's out there agitating against what seems to me to be an increasingly bland, boring, milquetoast, run-of-the-mill, NPC-filled world. A voice like Alex Jones's is sorely missed, in my opinion. Say what you want about his crazy fucking conspiracy theories. Say what you want about the man. I miss him out there, and I want him back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go quite as far as you, but as just for sheer entertainment value, I miss watching him scream his fucking head off and make no goddamn sense and wear ridiculous costumes and bring in ridiculous props and yell at people and throw papers across the room and rip his shirt off and just yell and scream and get red. I mean, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say about it, it's great entertainment.
It is great entertainment, and that is an angle that you have to look at it from, because a lot of people watch Alex Jones for that very reason, because he's this larger-than-life, obviously silly, clownish kind of conspiracy personality. I'm one of them. I don't buy Alex Jones's line on 99% of shit, but I still watch him. I still watch supercuts of him freaking out because he's a consummate fucking performer. In addition to that, being an agitator, being a little fucking grain of sand in the fucking wash that kind of shakes things up and irritates things a little
You can't even
bit.
believe the narrative that the media really wants Alex Jones to go away, because everything he does is covered so highly. Like he's become a figure
Well, let's go. I'll go look.
of international interest.
I can go put in. I'll just go.
So you can't
fucking
look-
put in Alex Jones in
You
Google
can't look at
right
Alex
now.
Jones as
It's-
like the society doesn't want him. It's just like it's one of those things, I think, where like people look at Alex Jones and like, especially the media, and I think a lot of times they got scared. Because like what they do with YouTube and the adpocalypse, like they foisted all these fucking mainstream news sources. Like people, Alex Jones have been on these small platforms, and then we have this total explosion of people interested in these smaller, organizations or just lone voices out there. And I think you're right. I mean, if these mainstream media organizations get to have their time and their space and their fucking ability to present information, why can't Alex Jones do the same shit, even if it's entertainment, even if it's bullshit?
Right.
I mean, like if we're gonna have a free marketplace of ideas, There's no way it's possible by silencing people like him. And there's people like him. There's the Rick Wiles and the other assholes of the world that say nonsense.
I mean, and
here's a bunch of stories about Alex Jones.
They sell bonus buckets to fucking
it's wrapped
idiots.
media attention for Alex Jones.
I mean, it's round the clock. I mean, it's April 5th, it's April 2nd, it's April 5th, it's March 31st. I mean, there are like constant articles in Washington Monthly and CNN. Where
the downfall of Alex Jones,
how the internet can be saved by Vanity Fair.
Yeah, so here's an article that I can tell from the headline is talking about how the internet's probably done a good job. And look, this is so Facebook hasn't fully banned Alex Jones yet.
After years of dithering, Twitter banned Jones and Milo Yiannopoulos. The result has been astounding and, dare I say, rather nice.
Now, man, you want me to step in for another dude that I can't fucking stand his ideology? How about we allow Milo Yiannopoulos to be an agitator again as well? Despite the fact that I don't like anything that comes out of his mouth. How about we let him back into the fucking public square to speak his stupid bullshit from his fucking little soapbox again? It's just like, how has the result been astounding now that Milo's not out there? Has he not been replaced by yet another yammering, talking right-wing head? Do you think that do you think the vacuum left in the conspiracy theory from Alex Jones isn't going to immediately be filled by another tongue-waggling Alex Jones impersonator? Like, have you not learned that silencing these people just builds the mythology around them and makes people want to seek them out and look at them more?
I feel like the sheer magnitude of articles from tons of mainstream press talking about Alex Jones here.
Effect, dude. We all know about it. I mean, if you've ever been to a fucking site that has fucking
how much does the fucking Joe Rogan appearance have now? The fucking
20 million more?
Yeah, I mean, it's an absurdly highly viewed episode on an already astronomically viewed
Joe Rogan,
podcast.
He averages probably like 1 million or so videos a video or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Million or more.
We want, man. No.
And this is fucking Alex Jones is on there. The motherfucker has 12.6 million.
And climbing. And that'll keep going up, too. He'll have 20 million before the end of the year.
323 thumbs up, 12,000 thumbs down. Not even close. People are watching this. People are entertained by this.
They love it. They love him.
Top comment, 17,000 upvotes. This video is not even trending. We see through your bullshit, YouTube.
See, they love he's the heel, man. Scotty said it earlier about how he's cutting a promo. He's a fucking heel, and people love to hate a heel.
They do.
And society needs this type of guy. And the fact that we live in a time now where we're silencing this dude, don't you think it's more important that Alex Jones is out there getting people fired up to make content that debunks his shit? So that his type of shit, his kind of narrative gets tamped down naturally through the fucking social conversation, rather than trying to squash it.
I was saying earlier to Paul, and I'll say it again here. And I saw Kyle even saying this himself on a thing he was doing the other day. Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk. A lot of his early videos, tons of it. He used to lean super heavy on Alex Jones for content. Like tons of the early Secular Talk videos were refuting and rebutting Alex Jones content.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like we're talking about, at this point, one of the biggest progressive voices on YouTube really got his start, using Jones as his fucking training wheels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't fucking totally predict the impact that someone like Alex Jones is going to have on the discourse. And that's why you need someone who's just a rock in the fucking face.
That's why I'm always a fucking advocate for this big, great, gray speech milieu. Because that's the only way to be an effective advocate of free speech, is to realize that being an advocate of free speech means protecting this dude's speech, even though he's a fucking scumfuck who thinks that 9/11 was an inside job and he cheapens the death of all those patriots that day, or however you feel about it. Your perspective came about because you ran into his. Your voice was now heard on this topic, a topic that is important to you and important to everybody else, because of him. Because he was there to offer the counter perspective. He was there to be your heel. So you could come in and be the face. Why are we getting rid of all these guys? It makes no sense to me. We need provocateurs in this society, man, more now than ever.
Because the generic-ass fucking corporate media can't compete with them.
Everything is radically centrist now. Everything's gray and homogenous.
Everything's had to be hamstrung, dude, because, look, they were losing so badly. A couple years ago, they were just getting their asses kicked on social media, and they realized, like, wait a minute.
We got to tip the scale. We got to put our finger on the scales.
We have to rig the game, and people like Alex Jones, whatever you want to say about him, like, I think when he left, he had 3.5 million. I mean, he'd probably be up to fucking 10 million subscribers right now.
Oh, yeah. And I got to say this, dude. There's a self-preservation element to my support of guys like Milo Yiannopoulos and Alex Jones, too. Because really the writing on the wall is guys that spew bullshit get silenced, and I'd rather not have that happen. I'd rather still be able to spew my bullshit, thank you very much. I'm a fellow bullshit spewer. Say what you want about my positions, good, bad, right, or wrong.
Yeah.
I see myself and Alex Jones and Milo Yiannopoulos. They're doing what I'm doing. Why would I stand in the way of that? Because I don't agree with them? Who fucking cares? Like, when did not agreeing with somebody become an impetus to shut them up? Didn't you I've not agreed with people my whole fucking life and come to resolutions that didn't involve silencing them.
Yeah, they had some popularity and people that supported them, but the vast majority of people that listened to what they were saying were actually diametrically opposed to them. And the evidence, of course, is clear because they've been banned from all these platforms.
So it's just, I don't know, man.
It's like assuming because 3 million people follow Milo Yiannopoulos on Twitter or whatever was going on, like however many he had before he was banned. We're all in agreement? No, there's probably a infinitesimally small number of people that were in agreement with him.
A huge amount of people hate watched Milo and Alex Jones. I mean, that's
still do.
I don't know, man. So I thought we could. I also pulled up Infowars.com. We could take another look at kind of the downfall of Alex Jones and talk a little bit about how he makes money now. Mm-hmm. This is Infowars.com, and as you can see over on the right, bigger than the story.
Not loading here?
What?
This part didn't load.
This site. No, this site, by the way, is increasingly unusable.
Wow.
I tried to go through it to pick some videos out, and if you go back to a certain point, there's broken links. He used YouTube for a repository for a lot of his video, and so what it's left is kind of an. You remember us looking at Ben Shapiro's site?
Yeah.
This looks eerily similar, don't it? Just kind of ads interlaced with video, and then he's selling his own products, a lot of them.
Yeah, that's how to do it, man. He didn't have to find sponsors. He just fucking made his own side business selling.
If you go up to the store and click on it, you will find an absolutely giant cornucopia of not just like merch.
Look. The spring super sales going on.
We're talking supplements.
Up to 60% off InfoWars Life.
I was talking
double Patriot points, free shipping site-wide.
I was talking to a fan on Discord that I chill with sometimes over there, and he was saying he just ordered some coffee from Alex Jones. He's got a coffee blend apparently that he's selling somewhere here on the site called Wake Up America.
Right here.
Yeah, there you go. Wake Up America.
Wake Up America Patriot Blend, 100% organic coffee.
So he wants to get this and an InfoWars mug so he can have the most, patriotic cup of coffee ever.
I wonder if this coffee's any good. It's probably not.
Who knows, man? He said it's 100% Arabica beans, so that's good. And he says a medium roast. Who knows?
Hey,
it's probably
folks,
pretty tasty.
Alex Jones here, and I want to thank you for visiting InfoWarsStore.com, blah, blah, blah. I noticed the InfoWars store site is not having any trouble loading anything.
No, that one is still up and running.
That one they make sure is...
Man, Alex Jones looks a lot younger in that banner, too.
Well, that's because of the bone broth.
Look at all the stuff.
Bone broth, Scotty.
It's all the stuff you could buy direct from Alex Jones. You get this, Made in America shirts and shit, outdoor survival,
flak jackets,
personal protection, other apparel. I don't know what the difference is between that and
little
this.
keychains, and
you get some stickers. 9/11 was
looks
an inside
like beer
job.
cozies. He's got some beer cozies
Flags.
down there.
Ooh, I gotta get a flag.
Yeah, get a "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
I can get a Trump flag. I can get a Reagan flag.
That Reagan flag is studly.
You can get a "Don't Tread on Me." Give me a Liberty or Death flag. That's pretty cool.
I like the Join or Die flag as well.
It's a fucking one-stop shop, dude. And they have an Instagram? Whoa.
Hell yeah, they got an Instagram.
Man, they got it all, dude.
Let's some accessories, dude. We can get some fucking, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's a phone stand, I guess? Okay.
Yeah.
You can get a fucking Alex Jones mask,
Whoa,
dude.
Hey, you could be Alex Jones. Look
You
at this.
too could be Alex Jones.
$4.95. That's a steal, man.
That's not much. That's not
That
a
ain't
lot.
bad.
That's not a bad deal. You can get that shit. You get a bullet keychain.
Hey.
You get a dildo of some kind. I don't know.
So this is really what Alex Jones, what all the hullabaloo is about. This is the end result of all the Sandy Hook is a hoax and 9/11 is an inside job, at least now at this point in the late stages of Alex Jones's career.
What is InfoWars Life? Is that like the
This is his supplements and lifestyle products that are supposed to make your hair grow back and make your balls get bigger.
DNA Force Plus.
Make your dick get harder.
What does DNA Force Plus do? Well, I know they all do nothing, but what does it purport to do? Support optimal
Telomere
energy
support.
levels. Okay.
That's what it says, yeah.
Oh, you get it. Basically, it handles the daily bombardment of toxins to overhaul your body's cellular engines with a fan favorite formula.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, pause it. Let's go with some
Dude,
of the-
normally this is fucking $150, but right now you can get it for just $60.
That ain't
TJ,
bad.
let's go.
Why the fuck aren't we selling
Let's
supplements?
go read some of the reviews, TJ.
Okay.
I mean, look, there's people that have actually used
They have
these products.
reviews.
Yeah.
there's
There
reviews.
we go. There, look, dude, overwhelmingly 5-star reviews on this.
Yeah, let's read the one shitty review. There's only one.
There's one poopy review. Let's see what it is. Tastes
This
funny.
tastes really bad and makes my stomach hurt. Very disappointed.
What a liar, dude.
That's
What a
'cause you
piece
got
of shit.
you have too much toxins.
Oh, you
in
know
your
what? Bullshit.
system,
Read some of the
bitch.
positive
You
reviews.
need the DNA force, man.
Exceeded all expectations. Feeling and healing came back in my legs. On my legs and back, rather. Have recommended DNA Force to other active seniors and ex-athletes. You must try one, but I'm sure you'll be getting more than one once you see the good results. God bless
There
and
you
love
go.
to all.
Damn.
Except them fucking Bilderbergs. Highest quality I've found. Great supplement. I know this stuff works. Helps my type 1 diabetes.
Damn.
Damn.
It's good for the beatus. It's good for the
Dude,
joints.
it's like a fucking cure-all, dude.
Essential to my wellness. Man, this shit's great.
God damn.
I gotta get
I'm
me
sure-
some DNA
Look,
Force
I'm
Plus,
sure
brah.
all of these reviews are legitimate. Each one.
And that's
You get
not
survival.
I mean,
oh,
yeah.
what about Brain Force, guy? You could really use this one.
Yeah, dude, I really fucking need it.
Because you're stupid as fuck.
Dude,
Everyone knows Scotty's dumb.
$15.98, dude. Wow.
Damn, look at how many 5-star reviews on that motherfucker.
It's got way more 1-stars though.
Well, yeah,
Didn't
but it looks
actually
it's got
make
way
me
more.
smarter.
Still about the same distribution of reviews.
What can I expect if I take this, TJ?
Overwhelming 5 stars.
It works. I was hesitant to try supplements because of the possible side effects. You're lucky to even get effects, let alone side effects, okay?
Before I took this, I was a stupid dumb shit. What couldn't even speak. Thanks, Brain Force.
Then I decided one day, screw it, and bought some Brain Force. Best decision I ever made.
Wow.
Brain Force lives to its name. I work nights and have to be alert at all times, and sleep during the day isn't always guaranteed, as I'm sure some of you know. Brain Force has helped me not only stay awake, but not feel crashing and faint during the night. I give Brain Force 100% approval.
Oh, damn, that's a strong.
Wow.
That's a
I'm gonna go ahead and
review.
I'm gonna go ahead and thumb up that fucking review.
Yeah, thumb it up.
That was helpful to me.
Thumb it up. Thumb it all the way up.
Yeah, I'm gonna thumb all these. Man, this is great shit.
Thumb it right up my
Boom.
ass, dude.
Boom, boom.
I want to stuff. I want to get a whole one of each of these pills.
You
and
get a
keister
thumbs
'em.
up, and you get a thumbs up, and you get a thumbs
Damn.
up, and you
everyone gets a
all
thumbs
get a
up.
thumbs up.
Yay!
Spreading the love out here, man.
Yeah, what does it do though? It just makes you smart. Is that
Yeah, it
what's
makes
going
you
on?
smart.
Makes you super
You
smart.
be dumb. You take this. You be smart.
You a dumb shit.
Brain
Get
Force.
you some fucking
Order
Brain
now.
Force.
Black pepper food extract, TJ.
Oh, look,
vitamin
it's got
B12.
Yeah, Bacopa herb extract. Dude.
I love it.
Bacopa herb. You know how much that is?
Traditionally used.
Oh, Alex
Yerba
Jones.
mate.
Important. You're allowed
This
to
is
have
Alex
tonic.
Jones' words of recommendation. Brain Force has been an absolute favorite among thousands of listeners, with hundreds of 5-star reviews coming in, thousands, Alex, from certified third-party review sites.
third-party reviews.
Now with Brain Force Plus, we've gone the extra level. This is what I take before a hard-hitting show. I absolutely love it, and the crew does too. This stuff is over-the-top powerful. They keep it pretty vague as to what it actually is going to do for
he
you.
doesn't tell you what it does. He
It's powerful.
It just puts a little spring in your step, the
Yeah.
Brain Force.
powerful stuff.
I want to look at one more supplement. Let's see. Super
sounds
male,
good.
ooh, Super Male Vitality. That sounds pretty
What's
good.
the real red pill, dude?
Oh, you want the
see
real
that
red
shit?
pill?
What?
The real red pill,
This
dude?
is the real fucking red pill. Let's see.
With a dude now with an energy boost.
You need a pregnenolone or whatever.
Why you need this bullshit you
Why
don't
you
need?
need pregnenolone? The main ingredient here is pregnenolone, a little-known neurosteroid with so much potential and science behind it. Wow.
Citation.
Okay.
Mysteriously.
Anyway,
missing.
studies have shown that, it's basically like supposed to increase your testosterone, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, I think because it's the red pill, it must be like a sex supplement.
What is it supposed to do?
Get you bonered up.
You're gonna be rock
It's supposed
hard.
to be a
TJ,
boner
with the
pill?
real
Yeah,
red
you're gonna
pill.
be you're gonna be rock
with
hard.
extra energy.
You're gonna have extra stamina.
Oh, here's what it does. Made in USA. Oh, it's gonna make your brain good. It's gonna make your heart good. It's gonna make you run.
Performance,
Sweet.
you're gonna be doing great, TJ.
You're probably gonna fuck better too.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you could do all those things, you'd fuck.
Oh, so
better.
here we go. Pros:
supplement.
energy boost, energy, immune boost, mental and physical stamina, positive. It's gonna make you feel better about life, dude.
Wow, look at the cons.
Yeah,
none whatsoever, and none.
I want it. I want it now.
None. Cons, none, bitch.
None whatsoever, and none.
96% said they'd recommend it to a friend. Why the fuck not, dude?
Yeah.
I need all these pills. I just want to fucking be a fucking Alex Jones InfoWars supplement fucking whore.
Yeah.
I just want them all up inside me.
We should just order one of each and just start taking them and see if we turn into fucking giant.
Yeah, I'm like, we
rage
should
beasts.
become fucking amazing at that point,
Sweaty
right?
fuck machines, dude. Just ready to go out and fucking work all day and
I
fuck
know,
all
yeah.
night.
Things being 60% off, now is a better time than ever.
I mean, now's the best time to do it. So get your ass down to the InfoWars store and buy you some fucking Alex Jones product, because he's going to need that money for his fucking legal
I'm
settlement.
gonna use brain force.
Yeah,
Remember,
need it.
90% of all of your supplement purchases will go to the families of Sandy Hook victims eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably good enough for this Alex Jones guy.
That's what I got, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got. And let us know what you thought. Let us know if you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys. If you're patrons, we'll see you again on Wednesday. If you're not, we'll see you again on Thursday.
Get some super male vitality, TJ. Get it. Get it now.
Whoop.